Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tears of the Kingdom. Our objective. There you go, Sabi. You should be back. Our objective for today is to continue making progress. I did some things. Adrian, oh gee, you scared the shit out of me for a second. because when you did that sound, I had turned around and I'm wearing the fierce deity, which is already inherently creepy.
Wow.
All right. So I got some things in between then and now that I thought about sharing. So Adrian, you're not on Parsec, right? So you're not about to see what I'm about to do?
I'm not.
Okay, well, I now have the furry armor and I maxed it out. So the furry armor is very weird because if I want something that's pure defense, this is by far the best thing that I have. But for the most part, the Fierce Deity armor at 60 points is totally passable. You know what I mean? So I'm probably going to be sticking with the Fierce Deity armor for the most part.
What are the perks on either of them?
Sorry?
What are the set perks on either of them?
So for Fierce Deity, it's 3 points of attack up. And then if you're wearing the full set, it cuts the stamina usage of charging up a move by half. So it's extremely good for combat. Whereas the furry armor is the Master Sword beam up thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Once again, if you ever get around to it, I would love to show you the furry armor. Actually, you know what, Saba? Can you help me out here? Can you take a screen snip of the furry armor for Adrian?
Okay. It's probably better the other. Just go on the other screen where you were changing
the bigger one? This one?
Thank you.
I think I fucked myself over in this game of solitaire, by the way.
You did.
Hey!
I'm just saying, I'm passively... You can put it on...
Once again,
what, are you some sort of solitaire expert?
You should send it to Adrian, just in case Grain hasn't seen it. Very smart.
Are you some sort of solitaire expert, Zach? Are you solitaire whiz?
I used to play a shit ton of solitaire, being an only child, essentially.
Alright, well, fuck solitaire. I'm gonna play Tri-Peaks.
Okay. Did you send it to Adrian?
I don't need to be judged by
it
this
was
expert.
Like, your upload failed, and I was like, what?
What do you mean your upload? You just right-click... Did you save it?
It says upload... Well, no, I can just, copy and paste stuff normally.
Control-C, Control-V, right-click copy, right-click paste into the thing, and you should be able to send it to Adrian.
No, it's just... I'll try saving it. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
How do you have problems with these? What keyboard are you using?
The same one as last time.
You should, if you get around to it, Adrian, you should play Hearts. That should be in that collection.
I don't think it actually is.
Really? They got rid of Hearts? That's so sad.
I don't see Hearts in here. It's just Klondike, Spider, Freestyle Pyramid, and Tri-Peaks.
That's unfortunate.
Have you played Tri-Peaks, Zach?
Adrian, I'm trying to focus on the video game. Saba, how's it going?
I'm trying to focus on the video game too, except my video game isn't streamed over an inferior service.
An inferior service.
Spider-Man, abandon your humanity, abandon your Parsec, Zach.
Why are you a D&D villain? Abandon your Parsec.
Nope, it won't let me.
Okay, cool. I'll do it in literally 2 seconds, because I don't know why.
Well, okay, first, before Zach's like, Saba, you're just stupid and you don't want to send it.
I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm saying I don't understand.
You so mean that.
I'm just saying I don't understand how you run into these issues.
Send this.
There you go, Adrian.
Join me, Spider-Man.
Join me, Spider-Man. There you go, Adrian. That's the furry armor. Have fun.
This is what I get every single time I try to send it to Adrian.
Cool. I don't know. Once again, I'm not calling you stupid. I am just simply saying I don't understand how you constantly have these kind of issues. Anyway, shut up. Come back to the thing.
Technology.
Shut up and come back to the thing.
He's trying to...
No one's even acknowledging I just beat a board of Pride points.
It's fucking Tri-Peaks. It's for, kindergartners.
Alright, fuck you.
Play Spider Solitaire. Something that's, in the middle.
Alright, fine. I'll play on hard mode.
Alright, Saba. Anyway, here.
Go hard mode. Oh!
I just remember how much I fucking hate Spider Solitaire. This game blows.
So I found... once again... So, Saba, you remember how over the course of this game, I re-obtained the legendary weapons from the like heroes or whatever, but it's not
Yeah, you
actually
had to remake them.
right. It's remade, right?
Oh, is this the same concept?
This is not the original Lightning Helm for some goddamn reason. Apparently, the original Lightning Helm was lost. I don't know how. It was in my possession, but it was lost. And so during that very brief period of time where the Yiga clan had access to the Lightning Helm, they studied it, figured out how to replicate it, and I had to do a series of challenges in order to obtain the Lightning Helm. But now I have it, so I have the ability to become lightning proof, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
I do have something else that I received from them that I think is kind of neat. I got this. This is the Earth Wake Manual. It is a technique that can only be done if you are not wielding a weapon. So by not wielding a weapon and charging up.
Oh, cool.
Yep, it takes stamina to do, but I just now have an unarmed attack that I can use whenever I want. This is the exact same attack that the big swordsmen, the big Yiga clan swordsmen have. So that's really cool that I just have that now. Some other things. I actually got to fly back to my house real quick because I picked up the last of the non-amiibo like exclusive weapons and stuff, like specialty weapons. Meaning that my house is, for all intents and purposes, complete. Frustratingly, there's exactly enough space for one bow. And that's really fucking annoying. So,
well, Zach, I still think you should join me, Spider-Man. And together we'll rule the city.
I'm trying to think of literally any other quotes from the Green Goblin.
That's the only one I know.
All right.
I know there's the one from the new one where it's like, too strong enough to have the world, too weak to take it all, or something like that. Or strong enough to take the world, too weak to keep it all. Or, oh, fucking, I didn't watch that movie.
Okay.
you try.
So I got the Hylian shield.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This was located in the exact same place as the previous game, except you'll recall that Hyrule Castle is now floating in the air. So to get to it, instead of going through the jails, the like jail cells, I had to go in through the surface by breaking apart a bunch of rocks and defeating a Phantom Ganon that was inside, which was really cool.
Okay.
This is apparently the Hyrule Shield from either Wind Waker or Phantom Hourglass. I want to say it's Phantom Hourglass, but I don't remember.
Cool.
But that's the Hyrule Shield from that.
Squarish.
I got this.
Yo, is that the light bow we got last time from the end of the game?
So that was what I thought originally. This is called the Dusk Bow. Apparently, this is what the light bow looked like in Twilight Princess. So you'll notice I have one space for a bow, and apparently there are no more exclusive bows in this, so I'm molding.
You can just find a fancy bow.
No, it has to be unique. Otherwise, why would it be here? All right.
Every time you deep dig into like the yelly raspberry, I'd say, "Join me, Spider-Man!
Join me, Spider-Man!" All right. So you're already familiar with all of these ones. These ones were the ones that I showed you before.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. I now have my gallery set up because I realized that I was done. And it's this one. This is the quote-unquote light sword from Twilight Princess. So this one I got from a series of side quests that were on these ruins. There was like 4 mini quests that I had to do, and then a final mini quest, and the reward was this guy. The bow was actually nuts because I had seen it like weeks ago when I originally went and checked out, like just flew around Hyrule Castle or whatever. Way at the top of the sanctum is this giant spire like piercing into the sky, and there's like this hole in the top of the spire that doesn't lead anywhere. It just had like a yellow bow in it. So I was like, oh, that's a weird place for a royal bow. Anyway, and I just glided away. Only to later look at the list of things, and it's like, oh yeah, the dusk bow is up there. And I was like, that was a unique bow? And so I went, and it's like, yeah, it's unique.
I'm going back to get that.
Yeah.
By the way, for the Korok Forest, after you saved them, did the black mist go back to being like gray or white mist?
Yep, it is. And it functions exactly like it did in the first game, so it's back to being normal. I can take this opportunity to show you the rest of the parasols that I got. Not parasols, paragliders.
They have different effects.
Man, that list was ginormous. I think some of them are really cool.
Do the paragliders have different effects or just cosmetic?
It's purely visual.
No, those are cosmetic.
That list was enormous.
But it's really.
Although the thing
cool.
that I think is a little strange, or not a little strange, it makes sense, I guess, since, you know, Nintendo obviously has an internal policy. But it's weird that like 25 of those 53 are locked behind amiibos. You know?
Oh, is it? I didn't hear. I didn't.
Did you? So you didn't
watch
watch the video then?
No, I went through the entire list of them before, and I'm like, I don't need to see the video. I already saw the entire list.
The second half, or not the, or like the last fifth of the video is him just quickly going over all of the amiibo ones,
like
and they all look really good. But you need an amiibo, or you need to use the like the NFID chip stuff, which I don't feel like doing. Okay. Rework the paraglider. So the new ones that I got are the Royal Hyrulean fabric. Cool. This one I got for doing something. It was like something. It was hidden in the King's study, I want to say, in Hyrule Castle. So I had to go retrieve that. I went and get the Zora fabric. This was just a really simple side quest.
Also looks cool.
The Zonai fabric, which is my second favorite, admittedly. I'm still going to stick with the Choo Choo, but I really like this one. This one was actually super cool. So you remember how when we were on the Island of Time, or like the Garden of Time or whatever, they specifically mentioned how the Temple of Time rings at the same rings every 12 hours at the exact same time, and has been for like thousands of years. So the idea was that after I had done a certain amount of like story quests, congratulations, Adrian.
Thanks, I was waiting for someone to comment.
After I had done a certain number of story content, the Tower of Time, the Temple of Time, started glowing green, and by going to the roof, I found a hidden sand garden where one of the custodians was like, hey, are you here to take the challenge? And I said yes. And he's like, okay, we gotta wait till 7 a.m. So he fast forwarded it to 7 a.m. and it's like, okay, cool. Here's your goal. Here's your objective. There are 3 pyres on the, like, within the garden. You have to light all 3 within the next 12 in-game hours without ever touching the ground.
Oh.
And it was this really cool thing where it was like, okay, a lot of gliding, a lot of using the Zora armor in order to go up waterfalls, which I'm pretty sure the Zora armor is the thing that I needed to like trigger the event in the first place, because I couldn't imagine doing that without the Zora armor. It would have been ridiculous. But anyway, I got the Zonai fabric from that. I got the Korok fabric.
Ah, cute.
So one of the new powers in the game is obviously the Ascend ability, and it was truly genius how they had you do it in order to get this fabric. You have to ascend up into the Great Deku Tree's mouth. Because hidden in the Great Deku Tree's mouth is a small alcove where this one fucking anal retentive Korok is like, everything must be perfect, but the Great Deku Tree is asleep and he won't open his mouth. Can you deliver me some flowers? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, thank you. Here's my bedspread. And it was this.
That's funny.
I'm trying to
Korok
think.
sleep?
The Deku Tree does.
But the
I like
Korok
this
gave
one
you
a lot.
his bedspread, right?
Yeah, they have beds.
You showed me this.
But so that means they sleep.
That's what backpacks.
Yiga fabric. There you go. This was my reward. Remember how I told you there was like a series of challenges that I had to do? For beating the first one, I got the Yiga fabric. The second one was the Earthquake, the Earthquake scroll.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the third one was the Lightning Helm. And then I believe that's it. Yeah. So there you go. The rest of them, you get a fabric for getting all bubble gems and turning them and giving them to the guy who collects them. You get one for. There was a lot. There was one for like doing all like side adventures. I want to say.
I wish they gave us one for collecting all Korok seeds, and the thing is just golden.
I think it would be funny if it was golden, but then slightly slightly different color was just a poop in the middle. So it's still a little bit of a fuck you. All right. So anyway, with that all being said, we're returning to Pharaon's Sky. Because once again, apparently this is where we're supposed to be going in order to discover the location or the existence of the fifth temple. But I don't know.
Yes.
You know what would be a good idea, Zach?
Yeah, what, Adrian? For you to join me, Spider-Man!
I was thinking about it, but then I remembered I had an actual thing I was going to suggest. You should figure out a way to set up the stream so that it's Breath of the Wild on top and then me playing Solitaire on the bottom, so we can create sludge content on Twitch.
Sludge?
You haven't seen sludge content?
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know either.
It's like on TikTok or YouTube Shorts when they have like the main content on top and like on the bottom is like Family Guy or Subway Surfer or something.
Oh, just something to keep like the fucking Gen Z like entertained while someone's
Except
talking.
it's Solitaire. Yeah, exactly.
So it's the opposite.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, no, you're the sludge and I'm Solitaire.
Oh, I'm that's terrible.
Think about it, Zach. We can take over Twitch.
We can't. What
Not
the
that
hell?
attitude.
Well, that's cool that this made a return.
Well, I think we're gonna make it, Zach.
What makes you say that?
Luckily.
Man, could you imagine
was cool since I
how
was at the
fucking annoying
beginning.
it would be to get here and not have that? And not have enough?
We're OP as hell, okay?
What the hell is that?
Is that a mask?
Secret of the
Owl
Ring.
mask?
Oh!
Owl mask!
You open the door on Dragon Head Island. Inside, you discover what appears to be a Zonai relic on a pedestal at the center of the chamber.
Zach, everyone has masks. This could be the mask of the final person.
This could be mask to mask.
Yeah.
Saba, that's super cool. Saba, that's really exciting.
I don't know whether or not it's true, but like.
But you might
that
be
would
right, though.
Cool.
That would be a big person, wouldn't it?
But this looks like it's been creating the little projections of the, or I guess maybe everything's just a projection. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, it would make sense, but maybe they just did the mask stuff as a, I don't know, to hide their faces, which for some reason.
Why
I don't
would
know why
they?
that would, okay.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They just.
Okay.
Oh, Zach, you gotta go all the way down there now.
Zelda's chosen protector.
Who the fuck is what? Who's this?
Take this. Follow the
Take this.
It looks.
Take
Like, was it Mineru? Right, because it has the third eye.
Oh, do you think it is Mineru? Do you think it's Mineru?
I mean,
How
that's what
does
we were
she
theorizing
fit this-
beforehand, Zach.
How does she? Right, but how does she? Well, my question isn't because we know that she's the guardian of light or whatever. How did she fit this mask on her face? Or maybe it's not a mask at all.
Remember, it was just I was just guessing it's a mask, and yeah, it's not confirmed.
But it does look like a face.
I mean, we saw her face anyway, so
right, and her
if
face
it is
was
her
tiny,
face was
and
not
also
covered.
and
Yeah, her
also
face is
vaguely
not-
canine.
vaguely goat-like.
Oh, hey! That's nice. Thank you, guys. Aww.
I like these just flying devices, like just
Mm.
tucked away vertically into the wall.
It's so organized.
By the way, Zach, what
Yes?
was the last episode I said I watched of Unsleeping City when I was talking to you?
2. I'm now on
I think I'm on
7.
episode 5 now. No, I'm on 5 now.
Oh, that's really great.
Yeah, almost finished.
Season
5.
one or
Remind
season
me,
two?
remind me of
Season
what was
1.
the last thing that happened in in the last episode that you saw? Because I just don't remember what happened in episode 5 is all.
The sewers, the Rat King.
Ah,
sewer,
okay.
I think.
Oh, that's early.
A lot of stuff has happened since then because I haven't finished episode 5, but I'm like mainly past halfway.
But still, like that's an extremely far way into that. I'm very impressed. I was expecting you to tell me that you finished episode 3 by my 30th birthday.
It depends on if I have the time, and so far, luckily, one, I don't actually have to look at the screen when I watch Unsleeping City, unlike anime, because I actually have to read the subtitles, and I could just take it around because it's on my phone. So it's much nicer to, if I have long beads of time, to just listen/watch that. So it's been pretty fun.
Oh.
I enjoyed the whole thing. I found the thing where it's like every single moment at that wedding, Sophia was like, I just remember my own wedding and being fully depressed every single moment. I was like, okay, that's really funny.
Yes, Adrian, since you haven't been here for the previous conversations, Saba absolutely adores Emily Axford's performance in Unsleeping City.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a performance worth adoring. I think. Emily Axford has killed it in every single thing I've seen her in, so.
Very much so.
I don't think I met whatever the love interest for, what was it? Tyler's character, the one you were like, it's hilarious and stuff like that. I don't think I've gotten to that point. I did see
Zach? Zach?
Right, but
Tyler.
okay, so you're telling
the fireman.
Oh,
I believe we were talking about
his name's Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky.
Okay,
so you're telling me that you have not yet encountered Ricky's love interest yet?
I don't think so. I did get to see Sophia try to woo a pigeon, but then absolutely fail. That was funny. They made note of that.
So good, man.
So
it's one of those things where obviously everybody rightfully recognizes that Brennan Lee Mulligan is like one of the like prime assets to Dimension 20 and College Humor, but I would probably argue that Emily Axford's like a close second.
She's really
well,
great.
I'm just trying to recall the stuff I do remember,
which is fair.
Okay. Of course, like there's a bunch of other stuff that was quite.
No, it's not fair. Forget everything.
Forget everything. I don't know where I left off. So I felt bad for Kingston?
Yeah, Kingston Brown.
His apartment is wrecked, and he's been in his parent, like he's been forced into all these filthy scenarios, and he's just like, why do I have what, my apartment full of pigeons first, and now
I really like Kingston
man.
Brown because as the Vox Populi, he has a lot of responsibilities, but at the same time, he's so down to earth where he's just like, come on, like really.
I don't want all these pigeons in here, and I was like, that's really good. Kugarash has been pretty funny.
What
yeah,
you like a human guy, like human piece of shit who turned into a fucking rat who's also a druid? You like that?
Well, I mean, it's good that I got to the point where he said he was a human before, because if I didn't, you would have just spoiled that for me. So you're lucky.
Yeah, you said well because you had already said that you had seen the what do you call it, the Rat King. And they talk about at the end of the... Oh, wait, no. Did you say you finished The Rat King?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because they talk about it at the end of that episode.
Okay, I thought it was in the episode after that, but, you know, it's
maybe
okay.
it's the start of the next episode. I remember it being, like, right after, like, chronologically.
Okay, we're going down.
By the way, we're going fucking somewhere.
We're going down.
Oh my god, it's not just down, we're going like sideways now too?
Are we in a cavern or are we going into the underground?
Welcome to the underground.
Link. Zelda's chosen protector.
I'm gonna mute Adrian.
You must hurry
What?
No, not you, your
as
stream.
soon as possible.
Oh, well, you don't like hearing me accomplish in solitaire?
No.
Wow, I thought you said you support
Okay,
your
she
fans. I
didn't.
guess
She
you
didn't
lied.
say anything. We didn't miss anything on my end.
What a surprise, Saba. Someone in a cutscene doesn't say anything important.
Well, I mean, if it was Link by himself, fine. You know, that's to be
All right.
expected.
He is by
Um,
himself.
Well,
Do you think
no,
I'll get
she just spoke to him.
Zach, do you think I'll get the fireworks animation or the classic like shuffling across the screen animation for my win animation?
You'll
here?
get the
What do you think?
shuffle. Oh
let's see it.
shit!
So, I
It's
mean,
it's
you
the
got all
factory.
these.
I had found this earlier, and everything just kept denying
yeah.
me permission to come here.
It has different win animations, but I don't know if they use any of them for the classic besides this one.
Look at
Because
that.
I am using the classic theme.
Oh, this is the fucking head of this robot thing? I didn't mention this before, Saba, because I was hoping that something like this would happen. But yeah, look at this.
Yo,
Alright, I'm switching up my theme.
gnarly looking. Half of it seems built.
Now it is all fantasy because I like fantasy. I'm getting shit.
Now
draws
instead of
right
an
now.
owl face, it looks like a guy with a mustache.
Yo!
I'm assuming we have to find the rest. Maybe?
Probably the arms and the legs, yeah.
Link, Zelda's chosen protector.
I know who I am.
We get it. Thank you. She's gonna keep saying it.
I don't know if I can really be qualified. I am an arrow, perfect. I don't know if I qualify as her protector, because I've been beating the shit out of her for a while, taking her parts.
Unfortunately, I no longer have a body. We
Zach at the PTA meeting when he's finally a dad.
cannot yet speak face to face.
Okay.
What does that mean, Adrian?
But do you see
The implication is that you're turning your child into parts to sell.
Fucking you.
Okay. So this is like the
And then did you ask Zach why his child is missing 4 limbs from yesterday?
I
God.
would ask you to visit each of them and
Wow.
assign
So
a
this is like a
body.
temple, Zach. We have
So she-
4 pieces of the
So
body
she
to,
did
to get.
separate. Okay, so she separated her spirit from her body, which was her power.
This is my request to you, Link. Loyal swordsman to Zelda.
Oh yeah, did you ever resolve Zelda turning into a fucking dragon?
No, and I'm fucking pissed
Nope.
about it. Also, do you know what else I'm fucking pissed about? Despite the fact that Grant told me like 2 or 3 weeks ago that he would, he still hasn't fucking finished the Geoglyph quest, so I still can't talk to him about it.
Wow.
It's so fucking frustrating. It's like being blue balls on lore.
It's really funny.
Which tangent, I do want to hear more of Saba's opinions on Unsleeping City if she has them. But tangential
I should just go back
thing
to
that I
see.
wanted to ask, Adrian, did you see the trailer for the next season of Dimension 20?
I did.
And
I think it's fine.
well, fine, of course, right?
I think it's fine.
I am going to be giving it a very honest try. Because it sounds like a really fun premise, and it seems like everybody's really interested in what they're doing. The only problem I have is just that they have very vibrant personalities, which might get grating after like an episode or 2. And that's really my only problem, I think. Oh. Oops.
Just to make sure this is muted. Yeah. It seemed like I think episode 4 was a lot of that was just the fight in the sewers. So
I think I might have mentioned this previously, but typically the way that Dimension 20 organizes things is that it's like either 1 or 2 episodes of just like lore, like just narrative stuff, and then like an episode
Yeah.
dedicated to combat.
well, yeah.
Although they have been
I'm
bringing
just
that
trying
up
to remind
recently.
myself what
That
was
is true.
happening. So I think the only other funny thing in episode 4 was like Kugrash being like, This is a fake king. He sucks.
This
don't
guy
believe
fucking
him.
this guy fucking sucks.
And then when he gets the crown, he's like, now I'm a leader that doesn't suck my brethren. So I thought that was funny.
And he
Yeah, so I'm going
just
through five, so I'm not gonna
consummately
speed up right
uses that power for like the rest of the campaign of just like summon a fucking swarm of huge ass rats. Come to me, my children.
Oh look, spoilers. I like this person. Blah 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 blah. I don't think there was much that was happening in 3. I think we just got to the wedding, and that was pretty interesting. Yeah, and then the statue.
I mean,
that was kind of
something.
depressing. I'm like, hopefully M can get her fountain back.
Once again, it's delightful that everybody in New York has the same. He has accents, which is great.
Yeah.
It is semi-relevant to me that you now understand. I believe by this point you should understand who Pete is, right? As like an entity,
As a wild connected to like this dream. I know the Vox something.
Vox Phantasma.
Phantasma. Still does a lot of drugs.
Well, it still does a lot of drugs because you don't fucking quit that shit overnight. But I don't know, because you were sharing the idea of like, man, I wish that they didn't do as much drugs, and it's like, yeah, they do.
No,
too.
it's just not it's not my favorite type of like character. That's just all I stated. So
okay, well.
they're basically the same, which I'm like, good for them. The wild magic thing is pretty interesting. I don't recall what is this thing about like this like wild magic like surge and maybe getting rolling dice and it's supposed to like, I think you have to go in order.
So
like
the way that it
two.
works is that sorcerer characters in D&D, they have to have like a source for their magic in some way, shape, or form. I think in 5e you have like 2 options like in the handbook, which is like dragon ancestry or wild magic. Is that correct, Adrian?
Correct.
And magic. So for wild magic,
1
the
point
idea.
For Zach.
Sorry.
1 point for Zach for remembering.
Thank you, sir. No.
5 points for Gryffindor.
5 points for Gryffindor. So wild magic surge is because the idea is that you're tapping into like the primordial like magic that exists within like reality itself. So every time you do like a spell or whatever, well, not really a spell. Anyway, every time you tap into that source, you have to do a wild magic surge, which is rolling a D100. No. Is it a D100 or is it a D20?
I don't think it's a D100.
It's a D100.
No, it's a
Is
D100
it?
for the
Wow.
effect, but it's a D20 to see if it activates, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you roll a D20 to see if it activates, and then if it does, you roll a D100 to see what the effect is. And it's a chart that's in the handbook that has 100 semi-unique effects that can vary
So
from
it could
like
be good and bad.
I
so
think
it's like
if I remember
normally this is
correct,
very-
because I looked at it in the handbook, I want to say it's mostly good, but the bad is really bad. Like I don't remember the exact numbers, but I remember like the punishment for rolling a solid 100 on your D100 is that you explode for like 40 D10 damage or something like that in like an enormous like you essentially explode like a nuke.
I'm pretty sure 100 is
Yeah.
roll twice and take 2 results.
Is that what that is?
I think
What's the
so.
what's
There
the
is
one that causes you to explode?
There's one where you cast Fireball on yourself, and I remember that one because that happened in one of my D&D games. You cast Fireball centered directly on yourself at a really high level.
Yeah, so for in regards to Jeffrey, I had seen
Jeffrey?
when they were doing that, yeah.
The fuck's Jeffrey?
That's just his like the name that he goes by, so he doesn't have to say his real name.
I don't know who you're talking about.
It's P. introduces himself as like
his fucking alias. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Got
I
it.
got 3 for a loop there.
You did. You genuinely did. I had no fucking idea what you were talking about.
But yeah, but when they were rolling for the Wild Surge, I think it landed on like a 2, and everyone was like, ooh, like panicking a little bit. I was like, okay, I don't fully get that, but okay.
The lower the number, typically the worse the result is, but I don't think it maps to that 100%.
It doesn't.
Yeah, because like, what's the one where like your skin turns, like you get a free self cast of like stone skin or whatever? Because I think that's like 12 or some shit.
I do not remember them numerically at all. Not that much of it. I don't huff that much D&D juice.
Well,
despite what the mainstream media would have you believe.
Despite what the mainstream media.
Oh my god! By the way, I just want to say, the latest like clip of Trump saying, "I did everything right and they indicted me." It's the most. It's the most psychic pebbles Trump has ever sounded.
Yeah, he did. He did everything.
I did everything right and they indicted me. It's so fucking funny.
I like the description of that's the most psychic pebbles he's.
It's true.
You're right. Yeah, that's why I'm laughing, because it's like you're super correct. I didn't even think about it.
Right.
I did everything right.
And they indicted me.
I can't wait for Zach to come back on the show eventually.
Isn't he still on the show nowadays?
No, he is, but like he disappears for like I don't watch religiously anymore, but it was the sort of thing where like he would disappear for like multiple weeks at a time, because guess what? He was in a production meeting for fucking Super Happy Friends or whatever.
Smiling Friends.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Your favorite podcast.
Huh?
From the aughts.
From the aughts?
Yeah.
I think it's like they didn't start until 2013 or something.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
What's happening, Zach? Here.
Sorry, I'm trying. I'm trying to not die. All right, so give me a second. I'm trying to get this all set up so I can go down here, but I keep fucking it up.
Anyway, I'm just gonna wrap up. I'm still in the, like I said, I'm still watching 5, so I won't comment about that yet. But things are pretty good, pretty nice. So there you go. End of that discussion. Nice. That's what a movement.
Oh, you still have shit to talk, Saba? Huh? You want to fucking try that again? Well, bitch.
It was not bad stuff to talk. It was funny, the movement. Okay. Wow, you're taking it to personal insult. I think you have to work on that.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
Right. And Saba still talks to me. Oh man, that's gonna catch on immediately. I did everything right.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
I did everything right, and Saba still chooses to insult me.
I would say I did everything right, and Zach still chooses to bully me.
I did
That's
everything
my saying
right, and I still ended up being 3'2".
Hey, that's inevitable, okay? I can't control that. The
Like,
only one is you.
like
You
Thanos,
bully
it is
me.
inevitable.
Ooh!
It's fine.
Wow, that went flying. Wow, we got him, Adrian. Good job.
It's so.
I did everything right and they indicted
Because I
me.
didn't even like. I heard the clip that you're talking about, and it never even occurred to me that that's fucking hilarious.
Wow. All it takes is
I did
Adrian.
everything right and they indicted me.
And they indicted me. Oh my god. Oh.
So I'm a little confused. So you brought that, right? Do we have to break it out, or will it
It
automatically?
feels like I have to put it in something, right? Like I'm gonna put it, like I'm gonna slot it into something, and that'll open it up. Let me try a different, because I know that there's one over there. Let me try this depot over here and see if it gives me a clue as to where I'm supposed to put that other one. So to kind of break kayfabe slightly, when I was exploring this area like however long ago, I didn't realize that this was going to be significant, so I was kind of like snooping around. Most of the other depots have like rails that lead back to this area. So the one that I just did doesn't. So I'm like, okay, well, where is that supposed to go then?
Zach, we're snooping as usual, I see.
Snooping as usual. I did everything right, and I was accused
Don't forget,
of
you have an
snooping.
outfit for
I was
doing-
making a Robotnik reference there.
I was doing a what?
A Robotnik reference.
What's a Robotnik reference?
Dr. Robotnik from Sonic.
Who's that?
Eggman.
Who?
Doctor. Okay. The
Okay, see, you just
snooping
gotta.
is.
He's doing it very
I can't believe you. Snoopingus is where Pingus comes from. Pingus. Snooping as usual, I see.
What are you talking about?
Looks like someone doesn't know his YouTube poop culture.
What the fuck is a Sonic?
Okay. Oh, hey, Wizard of Gun has a demo apparently.
Zach,
Yes, it does.
Zach, it's a fast
I didn't
food
know that.
place, right? They have a lot of different drink options.
Well, Adrian does like fast food, so it makes sense why he won't shut up about it. If there's two things that I associate with Adrian, it's solitaire and Sonic fast food.
If there's two things I associate with Zach, it's diddly and squat.
if there's one thing that I associate with Saba, it's doing everything right.
And
then
it indicted
me.
So your cough sounds like him now.
He's
Even
turning
sound like
into
him
him
coughing.
as we speak.
As we
Adrian.
speak.
He's turning him.
As we speak, the liberal media is turning me into Donald Trump.
I'm fucking hurting. Anywho.
Okay, so the rail you're talking about is to the right?
Well, this is just how to get it out because the door closes behind us. So like this is the gimmick, I guess, is that you have to figure out how to get this fucking shit out of here every time. I have half a mind to just
You do have half a mind, Zach.
I have half a mind
Sorry.
to just stick this onto
It's a good
a
insult.
onto like a hoverboard and just fly it out of here, but whatever. What the fuck is down there?
That's if you fall down.
Hey,
Do you
can
ever
get off
wonder
of there?
why? Do you ever wonder why in programs, when you want them to open something, they let you browse a bunch of different file types the program has no way of processing whatsoever, instead of only the ones it can process? Like if you're opening an image editor, it just lets you like try to open MP3s, and then it just says we can't do that.
Well, that's because you don't have the
Why
custom.
would you even press that?
Well, that's because you don't have the custom codec. Like, first off, I want to agree with you in the sense that you are making a good point here. However, I would like to reiterate the fact that you, like, like you can open up almost any file type in almost any program that brings that up. You just need the codec to do so. Like, you can open up MP4s in Photoshop. You just need the code. You just need the codec and a slight modification in order to do so.
Wow.
It's true.
I can't believe I'm being indicted for being right. I did everything.
I did everything right. Is there anything back here? Oh, look at that. It's a little
I
thing.
can't wait for it to be something you already have.
Nah!
Yep. Look at that. Something you
I
already
did
had.
everything right. I think my favorite part about Saba finally watching like some Dimension 20 content is that she can begin to understand any of the conversations that I bring up, because like I have in the past just like talked at Saba at length about something and Saba's
like, okay.
and Saba's like, that
Sure.
sounds really cool. I wish I understood what the fuck you're talking about. Like talking about Never After. And Sava's like, wow, that sounds interesting.
Is it from the same group?
It's the same people, yes.
Okay.
Okay, Saba, how do you think I should get over there?
I
With Bennett's body.
I wish it was a thing where those wheels, if you turned them all on, they would just the box all the way across. But I don't think that's the case.
I don't think it would.
So,
I don't think it would get that fast. I almost feel like that's
so
kind of
you
what
could
they.
just put on a thunder helm and walk
It
across.
protects you from thunder, not shocks. I don't think. I can double check, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Yeah, lightning proof. I'm pretty sure if I walk close to this, I'm still gonna. What? Holy Saba, you're a G. Wow, no wonder this shit was so hard. It fucking turns off electricity. That's crazy. Well, fuck this game.
I was right.
I'm about to say it says lightning proof, and I was like, okay, they're talking about like lightning bolts from the sky. How the fuck? Wait, how the fuck does that make sense? I'm standing on an electrified surface. How does the helmet on my head prevent it from
not to look a
happening?
gift horse in the mouth.
If I had like any sort of say, I would make it so that way the eyes would glow yellow when it was like preventing you from getting shocked. So that way there was some sort of explanation. Because as of right now, that's crazy, and I did everything right.
Anything right. And it worked out.
And they didn't indict me.
And they
Didn't
didn't.
me.
I did everything right, and they did not indict me.
That's so good, man.
Just turns to not Trump.
Is this right? That's
Definitely
incorrect.
not.
That one's incorrect. That one is
That's
certainly incorrect. Hey Adrian, I have a question for you because I want some help figuring out the vernacular for what the fuck I'm trying to say as I'm saying it.
Okay.
You're familiar
Be
with
the interpreter, please.
exactly actually. You're familiar with overly sarcastic productions? The YouTube channel?
Vaguely.
Okay, so vaguely. I mean, that's totally fine. So they released a video today titled TTRPG Alternatives to D&D. And so obviously I watched it. It's like a 2-hour long video. It's very good. Or at least I found it quite interesting, since obviously I'm the kind of guy who refuses to do anything the way you're supposed to. I just keep homebrewing shit. The guest for the episode was Red's sister, who they referred to as Magenta, because everybody has to have a color for a name. There is a very specific sort of like way of speaking. I don't mean like an accent. I mean like a certain type of like intonation and vocabulary that this individual used that I would refer to as Tumblr core. I don't know if this is familiar to you at all.
This is extremely familiar. Go on.
Okay, so this is my question and where I need assistance. Can you help define for me, as a person who did not watch the video, I would appreciate if you could define for me what you think Tumblr core is, so that way I can help refine my definition. Where the fuck is my other thing?
Do you just mean in like vernacular and way of speaking?
Oh, sorry?
Do you mean in vernacular and way of speaking as far as Tumblr core, or just generally?
Like, just help me define what Tumblr core is.
A lot of Tumblr core involves like really heavy literary analysis of things and very romanticizing a lot of things. A lot of it is
We have to go back, Saba. I'm so sorry.
quote no you don't understand, and coming from kind of like a place of like enthused but kind of oblivious condescension.
Can you define that? Because I think you might have hit the nail on the head, but I want to make sure that you and I are on the same page. Can you define that particular phrase a little bit further?
It's like it's like a very very commonly, whenever Tumblr people want to present any information, a lot of them will be like, extremely excited and kind of well-meaning, but also very condescending of like, okay guys, no, you don't understand this new thing that just came out, oh my god. And then the information that like you can very easily understand, it's just you didn't know, which is a different problem for not understanding information. You're just not knowing it.
Okay. So yes. Because the thing was that I was trying to define it earlier, because once again I would repeat that I found the video on like TTRPG alternatives to be very entertaining, extremely informative, gave me a bunch of stuff to like look up on my own, which is you know, obviously exactly what I'm looking for. But the way that Magenta talked it piqued my ears pretty consistently, where it was just like everything was an opinion stated as if it was a fact, but not in the sort of way where it's like, oh, I'm right, you're wrong. It was more along the lines of like I can't even particularly describe it, but anywho, the long and the short of it was that like the video is 2 hours long, and it turns out that a solid half hour of those 2 hours was because Magenta and Red just kept springboarding back and forth, shitting on D&D. And it's like, that's fair, but also off topic. Clearly they're having fun, and I'm glad that the sisters are able to enjoy each other's company. But at the same time, as a person who is, you know, just trying to be here for info, I found it to be a little grating, where it was just like, you know, please go back to talking about this really cool Dark Souls TTRPG. Oh, you're going back to talking about Wizards of the Coast again? Okay, never mind, sorry. So anywho, the well-meaning condescension, I think, is kind of what I was looking at, because Jello Apocalypse talks like that as well. Jello Apocalypse is kind of an asshole, though, but, you know.
He is also very Tumblr in the way he's an asshole.
He must be correct, and if you disagree with him, you must be stupid.
Or bigoted. Sometimes. Well, Zach.
Yes, Adrian? Are you finally coming into Parsec?
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
What the hell is... Where'd you get that from?
That's the clip!
Right! Oh, you just played...
Right,
wait, no, but is that the soundboard?
Me.
Yeah, I added a new sound effect. That's why I mentioned opening up files earlier, because I was editing it into my Discord server.
I did everything right.
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
And they indicted me.
Can you please send me that file? Because I'm also gonna edit that, but I'm just gonna have it be I did everything right.
Here you go.
Thank you, sir. I'll use that later.
They indicted me.
I did everything right. They indicted me.
So fucking funny. It's
Ta-da.
been said before, but for all the like objective evils that Trump has done for America, he is just definitively the funniest president.
The funniest.
I mean, there was a lot of things that George Bush did by accident that were pretty funny.
Okay, but he was kind of bumbling in like a kind of like, ooh, that's kind of silly way. Trump is straight up funny. Like, that's a funny guy. I think.
Everything right.
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
I couldn't find a good emoji to use, so I just used like the orange circle emoji.
Will Adrian ever get into Parsec? I see his computer, or at least I saw it at some point.
No, apparently it's I can't get into Parsec now because I need to authenticate with the password I reset 6 times last time to get on the stream, and now I won't accept it anymore.
I can't possibly believe that this is not your fault somehow. Not because
Zach,
I think you're incompetent, because I don't understand what the fuck is happening.
Listen,
How is that possible?
Zach, listen to me.
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
Parsec indicted me.
Give me a quick second. What what sound effect am I gonna remove? I absolutely know which one I'm gonna remove in order to put that on. It's a good sound effect, but we don't use it for anything. I did everything right will definitely be used.
Okay. Zach, I need you to listen to me. Last time I had parsec problems, I had to reset my password 5 times because it wouldn't accept it any of the 5 times. And I specifically at the end of that process, wrote down my password on a notepad dedicated only to that password, put on my desktop. It said, authenticate, you need to authenticate to connect to any other parsec right now. I go there, I put in my password. It doesn't accept it. It says it's the wrong password. I give up immediately because I don't like parsec, Zach.
I know you put in all this effort because I was there. I was there when you did
Zaba
it.
was there too.
Zaba was also there. We believe that it happened. However,
We're all here.
it's like watching a cow get struck by lightning when you're driving down the road. I saw it. I know it happened. I don't believe it.
Well, you better believe it,
Bucko,
because I mean,
I did everything right and they indicted me.
oh my fucking God.
I did everything right.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
True.
Saba, please break us out of this cycle. Talk about something.
No, I also I did everything right.
No!
I'm gonna let this continue.
What
I'm
the
gonna let this
fuck?
continue.
It's got the Saba seal
Saba
of
wonder
approval.
is why I bully her, because she fucking silent bullies me.
What are you talking about? You like this, but you're laughing.
I look at Saba and I'm like, you're short, you're stupid, give me $100. Saba's like, okay, and then my brakes are cut on the way home. You know what I mean? Like, Saba's that kind of bully, where she does something that is so much more personal and vindictive. I'm asking to be saved from everything. I did everything right, and still she refuses.
It's a power. I take the power that I hold and make sure I only use it in the most apocalyptic settings, okay?
It's like with great power comes great responsibility, and boy am I not responsible. I don't want to be responsible for any of this shit. I abstain from responsibility.
I abstain. Oh! Oh, there he's fine.
Abstain is what is called when you're sweaty and go to the gym and your chest gets like sweaty.
Abs. Wouldn't that be your like stomach area?
Chest is that. Chest is the bottom area too.
No,
Chest is
that's
the
your
whole front.
torso. Your chest is definitely your pectorals.
No, chest includes your like. Chest is the entire thing from like the.
That's your
like.
That's definitely. Is it? Because I have always made the very specific distinction of your chest is like your pectoral area, and then your torso is the whole thing.
Well, you have just been too specific, my friend.
Wait, okay, then what's the difference between? What's the difference between chest and torso then?
Torso includes the front and back, the whole thing. Chest is only the front.
Okay, all right. I could believe this if I didn't believe that you're actually lying for the sake of trying to make me look like an idiot.
You are too specific.
I don't believe you. Saba, you took like an anatomy drawing class, didn't you?
I took an anatomy drawing class.
Right, but you're a consummate liar.
I'm like the anatomy guy. How dare you?
Yeah, but I can trust you as far as I can throw you, and the only reason I can't throw you very far is because you're like a couple states away.
Well,
but only a couple.
I am 2 states away. That's true.
What the fuck is wrong with this thing? Who the fuck designed this stupid rail system? Oh my fucking god! Get back here.
Who's the guy that designed the New York rail system? It was that guy.
Shut up, Adrian. Spoilers.
John Henry Moses or whatever.
Shut up, Adrian.
Is that his name?
It was not John Henry Moses, but his last name was Moses.
It was Moses from the Bible.
It was Moses from the Bible.
He parted the Red Sea, and the New York subway system spawned from underneath it.
I'd believe that.
I'd buy that for $1.
I buy that for $1.
But no more. What, I made of money?
Because they're fitting like D&D mechanics into the Unsleeping City, New York, like, you know, setting. I do like the idea of like trying to like post validate people's classes for like what they do. Like, what the fuck is Kingston's actual character class?
I think he's a cleric.
He is a cleric, right? Because he has healing shit.
I think so.
Because obviously Pete is a wild mage, Kugrash is a druid, fucking Sophia is a monk, which is hilarious. What the fuck? Oh, Zach is a paladin, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Am I forgetting? That's everybody, right?
Probably.
Oh no, I forgot. I forgot Siobhan,
Oh yeah.
who is a bard, I think, right?
Probably. I think so. Yeah.
Once again,
The bard.
Bard not needing to be like an actual musician or anything like that, but just being like a thespian. You just need to be somebody who can, you know, inspire people. That's literally all you need to be.
Oh man. I've already bitched about this.
You have.
But Critical Role is making their own tabletop system because they want to shift away from 5e and that whole OGL nonsense.
When
right?
did they announce this?
Yes. Well, they have Candle Obscure, but they also want to switch the mainstream like fantasy typical crit roll Exandria thing to their own system too eventually. Candle Obscure is more just like Eldritch Investigation type thing.
Right.
I am very fucking
right.
sad that they're doing this because
right.
they literally have Galarian deities in the Exandria setting, which are from the Pathfinder's world lore, and they're not switching to that system.
So you're butthurt because they're not switching to Pathfinder, which is your preferred system. Instead, they're just doubling down on trying to like brew their own system.
The one of the more incensing things about this, because if it was just like any other podcast, like all right, whatever, but they have deities tied to the lore and setting of the system. Because originally it was a Pathfinder game, it was a PF1 game, and they stole deities from it, and they still have them to this day. And Paizo was completely cool with it. They're like, all right, sure, whatever. Except you know that if they had Wizards of the Coast deities, they would be fucking fighting them tooth and nail and putting them in manacles if they try to switch off it. And now they're just saying like, all right, so we want to switch off 5e. We're not going to pay back Paizo for letting us use their deities. We're just going to make our own third thing. And that's what angers me about it. Is that they're not paying their fucking dues.
Okay.
That's me. I'm the Union Goblin.
I like the mental image of Saba and I are just kind of like sitting here, not exactly doing nothing, but like still interested in what Adrian's talking about. And then you do like a hard cut to Adrian's perspective, and he's like frothing at the mouth. Well,
you cut to my perspective. There's like a red filter over all of it. The corners of my visions are like black with like black veins of darkness creeping in the center, and like there's speed lines going everywhere as I'm frantically trying to explain my hatred.
You cut back to Saba, and she is quietly listening to "I did everything right."
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
That's what. Did you add a laugh track to the end of that?
No, that's at the tail end of the clip. The audience starts to like cheer for him.
Oh, it sounds like a laugh track.
It might as well be.
Anywho, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I can certainly appreciate why you'd be upset by that, because it does kind of make sense. But at the same time, I could also foresee why they would want to like homebrew something as opposed to just doing Pathfinder. It is a little weird that like It's like so much noise about homebrewing now. I mean, I guess they've been homebrewing like the entire time, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
Hey, Saba, do you have a suggestion as to how I can put this heavy-ass arm on this very delicate gliding machine? Where do you think I should put it?
On the bottom.
Oh, shit, Saba, I actually have an idea. So I can't put it on the bottom because it won't slide. You know what I can do?
Yes. Put it right under your feet.
Right? That's pretty good.
I mean, since it's stuck, it should still work, yeah.
Fall out. Yo, I 100% expected to fall out of the fucking sky.
Wow. Such faith in your own inventions, huh?
I didn't realize that a glider could handle this much weight. That's awesome.
Oh!
Oh, did you actually? This is granular RPG nerd shit, but
When have we
okay,
ever
I'm
talked
about
about that on stream?
Exactly, which is why I'm going to inject a bunch of it in right now. So there's this channel. I don't know if you share the same sentiment as that, because I assume that you've watched like a couple of. It sounds like you've watched at least like one D&D YouTube video, and maybe more.
I mean, define D&D YouTube video, but sure. Like, I watch a lot of game design stuff. I don't know if that qualifies.
There's a lot of D&D YouTube that revolves around many aspects of the game, playing it specifically, more specifically being like, oh, here's a cool build you can do, or top 10, whatever. And I find all of these channels extremely fucking annoying, because D&D 5e, on a very conceptual level, is really fucking easy and simple to break and make busted, which is why I don't like it. But the point is, there's this one channel that I kept for the longest time getting recommended this one video that just the premise annoyed me for so many reasons, because conceptually it's just a joke that's also busted, and that inherently implies that your table is not taking the, like, either you or your whole table is not taking the game seriously. One of those is worse than the other. But it was this annoying ass thumbnail that really pissed me the hell off. I'll show you, but I want to read the thumbnail. Keep in mind, not the title, the thumbnail. Ultimate halfling naked barbarian dex tank for D&D. And I'm like, this shit is annoying. This guy Sax says ooh to that. He's like, he's interested. He loves this concept.
Ooh.
This same guy, Taking 20, it turns out, made an entire basically takedown video of like why I'm quitting PF2E, where he goes on to explain why he didn't like Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which, you know, if you don't like it and you tried it, whatever. No, it turns out the entire video is nothing specific about PF2, and everything in that video can also be applied to 5e, if not to a worse degree. And on top of that, there's also testimony from many of his players at the table that he basically neglected entirely to bother learning the system or any of its nuances, or even any of its basic concepts that differentiate from 5e, and just insisted that everyone played as if it was 5e, and then didn't enjoy it for that reason. Because he didn't bother learning the fucking system. So he didn't, of course, like it because he was treating it like it was a different system. And people, like, the entire PF2 community has basically said, like, this guy's a fucking clown, like, this guy sucks, and like spreading that. And for all of PF2's like righteous indignation at this guy basically just slandering the system for no well-founded reason, that video is still like, it's still like 85% like to dislike ratio, because of the audience of 5e is that much more PF2, and I'm so fucking sad and pissed about it.
Have you ever seen, or have you ever seen like a graphic that depicts the like market share of TTRPG players that exclusively play 5e versus like like has dabbled in anything else. Have you ever seen a graphic or like data that describes that discrepancy?
I think once a few years ago.
This is not me like mentioning anything specific. It's more along the lines of like I get the feeling, I get the overwhelming sensation that a lot of TTRPG players just kind of assume that like D&D is the default, and that like I don't know. I find that a lot of discourse, because I look into a lot of like alternate systems, obviously, and I find that a lot of discourse revolves around like, oh well, this differs too much from D&D, so it's not good, or whatever. And it's a little strange because like I know that like Pathfinder is still fundamentally different than D&D, but it's not as far off as like, you know, fucking Mouse Ritter in terms of like how things work. So I find it a little strange that like of all of the TTRPG systems that exist, maybe it's just because Pathfinder is like a close number 2, I guess. I'm not sure.
Also, Zach, guess what just dropped?
What?
Dungeon Meshi chapter.
Fuck. Sick. What the fuck? Why is that the cover?
I'm reading it right now to find out.
Well, don't say anything.
Oh, Lias appears in it.
No! Spoilers!
Oh,
He could have been dead.
He's talking to someone in it. Oh.
Now the better part of this information that I actually give a shit about is the fact that this means that next week the new JoJo chapter comes out. Exciting.
Are they synced up?
Yeah, I told this to you last time we talked, where it's there's a one because they're both monthly or whatever, and they're offset by like a week, not on purpose, just by accident. This is gonna go well.
That's a lot of lava.
This is gonna go super well. This feels like a Bowser castle.
Huh.
What do you want to talk about, Soto? You haven't put a banter topic in the queue for like 1,000 years.
My mind just because I like whenever I think through things, I'm like, it's not really a topic. And I have gone because you post stuff occasionally. I'm like, oh, I should bring up something to talk about, and then my mind just goes blank, and then I'm like, yep, that seems normal. Okay, moving on, I guess.
Because a lot of my banter topics are just me talking about, you know, whatever, just something that like occurred and I thought was like kind of interesting. Can I just lift this? Oh, I can.
Zach, I can give you an update. I'm here to let you know that I have not found that TV show I was trying to look for. Still.
Now that you mention it, I'm actually upset with you because now I'm thinking about it, where it's like, because it also bothered me that we couldn't find it.
I've asked the AI stuff to like make lists of like shows from them.
Asking AI to do stuff.
Hey, it's way easier than me trying to find them. But so far, so I've asked it to just make a list of shows.
If you're just gonna ask AI to do it for you, it's just gonna generate like a fake list of TV shows.
No, I've actually looked them up, so they do exist.
Okay.
Except none of them were the show. So I have even with the help of AI to try to figure this out. Nope. Doesn't none it just hasn't appeared. So happy to disappoint you, Zach, that I have not found it yet. But I'm kind of losing hope. I don't think I dreamed this show up, but who knows? Well,
I mean, I talked about it before, but for the longer portion of my life, I thought that I had because I think I tell this story, and I'll tell it again just for the sake of, you know, posterity. When I was younger, I got really sick. It was one of the only times I was ever allowed to stay home from school. And I got so enormously sick that my parents were like, all right, just stay in your room. We're going to put a TV in your room since you're going to be here for like a couple days. and I just watched stuff. But I was in such like a fever, like literally a fever dream, that most of the stuff that I saw, I just assumed was like fever dream type nightmare scenario stuff. And so there was this movie that I had watched during that period of time, where the long and the short of it was that this like cartoon monkey, that this guy was like he was like a newspaper or comic cartoonist, and this cartoon monkey was real, but everybody else thought it was fake. And so he comes into the real world, starts fucking with the like illustrator guy, and eventually they both go to like the underworld where like all the dead people are. And there's like this whole subplot with like body swapping and stuff like that. There's like a very distinct memory in my mind of like one guy being in a hot air balloon while he's chasing the monkey, and he's reaching into his own body to throw his organs at the monkey. And it was just so fucking crazy. Wow. It was like, what the fuck? Like, that feels like it could be a fever dream. And so I'm talking about this, like, 4 or 5 years ago at this point because of COVID. I'm talking about this while people were just hanging out in the tutoring center. And fucking Dave is like, oh, you mean Monkey Bones?
Wow.
And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, that's a Brendan Fraser movie. I love Brendan Fraser. Monkey Bones is like one of his worst. And I was like, excuse you? And so I pull out my phone and look it up, and sure enough, it was the fucking movie that I thought that I had dreamt up when I was dying. And it was like somebody offhandedly mentioning that my like nightmare demon was real. It was terrifying.
That's really funny.
I'm glad you think so, because it fucked me up at the time.
But just think about it, that
I prefer not to.
It wasn't your mind just creating something to frighten you. It was just real.
Yeah, that's better. That
seems better.
That's definitely better, and doesn't fill me with like existential dread at the idea of like my dreams are becoming a reality and they're not good. But yeah, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll have that. You'll be talking about this show in a public forum, and somebody will just be like, "Oh, you mean blah blah blah," as if it was nothing.
Maybe if I ever ask on a public forum, which I
remember that was one of the first like internet deep dives that I did when I was young, was trying to figure out if this movie was real or not. I remember typing in exactly what I just described in terms of like, dead corpse throwing organs from hot air balloon at monkey. But the thing was that back then, fucking Google didn't exist. It wasn't around yet. So I was like asking Ask Jeeves, like, hey, is this real? Am I insane?
This will work. It'll work eventually, Zach. Just gotta wait. I promise.
You can just take this.
Finally finished reading the chapter.
Take this.
Oh, that chapter! It again incrementally furthered the plot and had it was.
I wonder if at the end of Dungeon Meshi, the author is going to be like, by the way, here's the next thing, and I already have like 5 chapters ready to go. You know what I mean? Because I'm super looking forward to whatever their next thing is going to be, because obviously I expect something else to come out of this. But at the same time, like, it feels pretty deliberate how slow the most recent chapters have been.
I mean, to be fair, this chapter did kind of answer a question I feel like a lot of fans would have had if it didn't occur. So it's a chapter that serves a purpose.
So we're oh god, we turned around.
But God,
oh, we got back.
Damn, do I wish it was. Whatever, you know the feeling.
I do know the feeling, and I'll be reading it relatively soon. So, where does this water go?
Oh, by the way, I watched Cross the Spider-Verse, and I'm gonna watch it again Sunday.
With different people?
Okay.
Yeah.
Saba, you still haven't seen it, right?
Nope.
And did I don't remember, because I remember we talked about it briefly, but did you say that you were gonna watch it?
Nope. I'm probably
Right, and then and then I spoiled the ending
Ouch.
for you, right? Because you said you weren't gonna watch it.
Yeah, you said something about the ending.
So Adrian, how do you feel about the ending?
Man, I can't wait for next year, March.
Has it been confirmed?
That's the tentative date for now, although that might get pushed back.
Because that was the discussion that me and my dad had, where we both agreed, holy shit, that was an incredible movie. I'm gonna put this in a second. We both agreed, holy shit, that was an incredible movie, but we were both, I would say, blindsided by the ending. And we were both like, the next movie, which obviously there's going to be one, better come out within the year, or else that is actively going to take away from this movie, in my mind. Like, I'm gonna have animosity, because it's like, holy shit, finish your movie.
It was like eating one of the best, like, luxurious, decadent, like, masterfully crafted steaks I've ever had, and then them taking the other half away before I finish.
Yes. That's almost exactly my feeling. And it even has a food analogy, just like I do. Where, yeah, it was like, this was a delicious meal. It was so flawless in almost every way. And then, right when I'm expecting the next dish to come out, they're like, we're done. Come back. And I'm like, come back when?
later.
And they're like, we don't know.
For me, it was like the feeling of like, I'm just about to finish it. It's so good. And then they're like, "Oh, you can't have the last like 7 bites until next."
But it's gonna be another 2 hour something minute movie. So
I was
it's
gonna say,
not
they take
not
the-
like the next 7 bites. It's like a duplicate of the meal you just ate. Anyway, I'm gonna put this arm in.
I think it'll be worth the wait.
Oh, I certainly agree. If the wait is longer than a year, I'm gonna piss myself.
You're gonna York.
I'm gonna York. It's a this is a, well, I guess it's a construct, but is this a custodian? Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
What the fuck? Why am I wearing this? Oh, because
I don't
the
think you took it off.
electric floor.
Now only one task remains.
Wait, is this actually her? Is this her spirit in the robot?
I think so.
Oh, and it's in the fucking spirit temple.
Oh, you know what?
Let us go there together.
You know what, Zach? I want to get your opinion on this controversial Across the Spider-Verse thing, right?
Sure.
So,
this construct body you have built for me is hardly
Gwen Stacy, right? Spider
There's a
Gwen.
platform
Confirmed trans question mark.
I was about to ask how you felt about all the trans discussion about her, because obviously they're not gonna be able to say anything concrete because of the studio restrictions and whatnot.
Well, in
But-
the comics, it's been both. Like in recent comics, Gwen Stacy has been both confirmed trans or just trans ally. I personally am in the camp of just wanting more trans ally representation. That being said, not really my place to argue that position. I like the idea of, her just being, super supportive. But I can also appreciate people really wanting to latch on to that part of the character. And it's entirely, their own prerogative if they want to do that, All right. Hey, Saba. Did she step away?
No, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So, we're obviously heading to the Spirit Temple here. And I'll get a follow-up from you in a second, Adrian. But I did want to share once again, just to kind of break the illusion. I did technically already see this robot before. Remember when remember when it was like, hey, I
So
defeated.
you spoiled yourself?
No, not exactly. Remember how I told you how I had to go like going from like Yiga base to Yiga base, defeating Master Koga over and
Yeah.
over? He kept talking about this ultimate weapon that the Yiga were trying to build so that way they could gift it en masse to Ganondorf as like an offering so they could join his like legion.
Oh, is it the robot?
So what they saw, they found this temple, was able to reverse engineer the robot, but they didn't have the spirit core, so they filled it with Zonai devices and like Zonai crystal. So Master Koga was in the back where Link is now piloting it, and I had to do a boss fight against this thing. But you'll see that
Oh, interesting.
it's a fucking mecha.
Yeah, you should change your outfit, by the way.
I have only saying that I've barely been paying attention to the plot of this game would be generous. But
There's not a lot.
I am fully expecting like Gundam basically at this point, based on what I've seen.
Because you can't see.
Like Gundam or like what's the Power Rangers ones where the giant robot that fused together? Megazord, yeah.
It's
I'm
a little
expecting
it's a little wigglier than that.
So Wiggly Megazord.
Yeah, Wiggly Megazord's pretty close, I think.
I like that your team is really helping you out here, kind of keeping them at bay while you kind of go ahead.
I wish that this thing could run.
I think that's the point of this, right?
Whoa,
I didn't realize there were evil trees down here. Oh my god.
Yeah, of course there are. So, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Once I get to safety, I'm going to put a... Oh, you can't be serious. As soon as I get to safety, I'm going to put a fan on his back to let him fly. I guess her back? Oi! Stop moving!
Where's she going?
She's going to beat up the trees, I think.
Who would win in a fight, Mario or me?
What a abrupt question.
I regret to inform you, Adrian, that I don't think you would stand much of a chance.
No, not me, M-E. Me is an M-I-I.
Oh, just the generic me?
Yeah, like Matt.
Oh, Matt would whoop Mario's ass, but there's so many other me's.
Okay. What percentage of me's do you think could beat Mario?
Sure you can stick anything onto this?
I don't know.
Do you think it's more than 1% of me's could beat Mario in a fight?
More than 1%? No.
Yeah. No, okay.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I would say no to that. I would say that in terms of like, are you talking about any me that has ever been created, or are you talking about the ones that they like reuse constantly for like the games? Or do you find a distinction between those?
I don't think there's a distinction.
Okay. So in that
I think you
case,
gotta include both types.
definitely less than 1%.
Okay.
There's only one Matt, and I'm trying to think of literally any other me that would even like hold a candle to Matt.
What about all the like not Miiverse or Miitopia? What's the like fantasy one that had the really detailed me maker?
Oh, the one that came out, the one that was like
Miitopia,
re-released. Yeah, Miitopia.
Yeah, what about Miitopia? Do you think Miitopia me's?
Swing swords.
They do have swords sometimes.
They do have swords, and one of them is an evil wizard per game. But I guess that raises the question of how does this work exactly? Because like
all of them fight Mario at once.
Okay, well that's different. That's like fucking 1,000 duck-sized horses, you know. But because like my question, I guess, was how does it work in the context? Like, because in Miitopia, when you're going against your friends, one of them's an evil wizard, and the rest of you are like generic fantasy RPG classes.
It's just kind of like a story.
But if you're using every single me, does that mean 1/5 of all Mies are evil wizards, and then the other 4/5 are generic RPG classes? Is that how that works?
You get one wizard.
Out of
You
all
get
of
one
them,
wizard.
Yeah.
then who fucking gets the wizard?
Matt.
What?
Ooh,
But
yikes.
now you're like doubling up to the point of being ineffective, because that's not Matt's strength. Matt's strength is his strength.
Why not both?
Because you only get one main action per turn, and then you have movement and a bonus action.
Oh wow,
You're a
that's
fucking square.
Good luck with that, Zach.
What, this fucking blue Hinox?
Yeah, good luck with that.
I'm just gonna walk by him, I think.
I hope that works.
Yo, I can take objects while riding this thing. That's cool. All right. Bye, guy.
See, look, good form of distraction. I like how Tulin's character is like right next to you and everyone else is just back there.
Oh yeah, once again, I know that Adrian didn't actually finish the game, but Adrian, do you have any opinion on the fact that the only companion character that doesn't return in this game is the bird guy, where you get his son instead?
I don't think that's bad because that guy was fucking an asshole a little bit. So,
But he wasn't. He was fine. It was Rivali that was an asshole, right?
Yeah, Raleigh was more of a jerk than.
oh,
Yeah, about to say. We're talking about
Teba was just kind of like,
Teba.
I'm not going anywhere. You have to kind of like, I need to make sure like you're a guy that can actually take care of this. So he kind of challenges.
are you sure
you
what kind of guy you are?
What kind of guy are
what
you?
kind of guy you are?
But yeah, I don't know, man. It was just weird because obviously, and I think Saba and I both agreed on this. I think it's pretty clear that the reason why they went with Teba's son Tulin instead was because Tulin actually has like the power of wind.
Yeah, he doesn't have that much wind. Teba doesn't have that like. Power.
Teba has little to none, whereas Tulin has, he's young and he already has more than his dad did. And it's just weird that he's the only one of the four that doesn't get to be a companion. It's a little sad, I think.
The way that you phrased that just made me think of like, would you rather have little food and a lot of money, or a lot of food and little money?
2? The second one, please?
That little row of them.
Yeah, we've seen this like a bunch of times.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Oh, they have shields.
I will repeat that I noticed that it has a bunch of plugs all over it, like on its hands and its back and stuff. I do firmly believe I can connect stuff to this. Maybe I just can't do it until I get the spirit back?
We'll see.
Because by the way, if this is what I think it is... Oh. Hit. Oh, shit. If this device, like this mecha, is what I think it is...
It's so much faster running over there.
Why is it so much faster when I'm not driving it? That's so bullshit. Also, I guess this thing's immortal? Holy cow! Oh my! He has killed 4 people! Or she! Oh my god! The humanity! Oh
The
my...
murder! Oh no!
Oh my god! I can't fucking watch this. Oh. Hopefully it...
Okay, so how are we gonna get up there?
I don't know.
I'm assuming make a bridge.
I mean, make a bridge, but with what? There's no parts around here. I mean, it's not a spirit emblem, right? So I can't just...
Snipe them!
I mean, there's a bunch of rockets here. You think it has to do something about that?
I like the Street Fighters.
I don't like the art for that. It makes me it leads me to believe that this individual draws something else more frequently.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, who would win, Master Chief or the Sun?
Master Chief.
Explain.
No.
Okay.
Okay, apparently that's all you get.
All right.
Sorry.
Who
I
would
think it's a
win,
pretty self-evident answer.
coughing baby or N95 mask?
the N95. If mortality metrics from the past couple of years are to indicate, sadly. All right. So that worked pretty well, I think. Fuck, I picked up a stick.
Who do you think's more popular, Luigi or Tails?
Luigi by like a fucking country mile. Tails is like a better character than Luigi. He's better characterized in the games and external media, but Mario as a whole is so much more popular than Sonic.
If you were sent back in time and you were shunted into the body of like one of Sega's PR managers at the height of the Sega versus Nintendo war, having the curse of knowledge of the 2023 reality where Sega is a pale shadow of its former self, what would you do?
The problem is, because I always find this kind of question to be interesting. Like, if you had foreknowledge, what would you do? And in this particular context, I don't know if anything I did. I don't know if there's anything I could do that would affect like what happened to Sega. Because the thing is, so like the idea of like not like don't invest in the Dreamcast as an example, right? Like reinvest in first party titles, make sure that like the Dreamcast is really cool conceptually, but it had a lot of technical issues which led to it like not holding any sort of like mental market share. So it's like if I was like just that as like a basic policy of like don't do the Dreamcast, just reinvest in the Jaguar or something like that, like make the Jaguar 2. Would that succeed? Probably not. Because something else would probably happen. And I'm not talking about like, how do I put this? I'm not talking about like timeline gravity or something like that. I mean like something else would probably happen that would lead to the downfall of Sega, because I think Sega was doomed from the beginning, if that makes sense. Saba, it really feels like they're trying to tell me to fucking...
To, like, put a jetpack on?
Yeah, put a jetpack on. Because look, they have this fucking spike ball here.
She just says it can be modified. I don't know.
But how?
So what you're saying is, even with foreknowledge, you would be in the presence with Sega doomed and being like,
I did everything right and they indicted me.
There you
Saba,
go.
there you go. Oh, okay. Thank you, Saba. I didn't see that. And then back part. There you go. That's what I was trying to do. I did everything right, and they indicted me.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
and they indicted me.
Oh, bye-bye!
Wow, this is super cool, man.
What's the least irresponsible thing you could leave in a room 5 feet away from a baby?
What's the least irresponsible?
Or sorry, the most irresponsible.
I would say the least irresponsible would be nothing. or like a nurse
So
to
by
take
virtue
care
of
of the
doing
baby.
anything, it's probably...
What's the most irresponsible thing I can leave 5 feet away? It's in another room, or is it just 5 feet away from a baby?
Same room, 5 feet away from a baby.
Okay, the most irresponsible thing that I could leave next to that baby would be like exposed uranium.
Demon core.
Explosives.
Yeah, fucking demon core with the
Wedge
thing.
with a screwdriver that has a smiley face painted on it.
Yeah, like you know, like yeah, probably. You know.
Oh, look at all
I'm
the
just having
owls.
demon core now. I love the demon core.
Examine.
Is this gonna take me down into like an actual temple? You think, or do you think the factory was the temple? Arguably.
If you didn't know what the demon core was in reality, what do you think it would be in a video game?
Probably just like an orb of demonic energy or something.
You just called the demon. Oh, we're going down again.
Adrian, I want to ask you a question from my own personal standpoint. There are certain like elements that I like reintroducing into the worlds that I make. And one of my favorite ones is this material called demon steel. If I forced you at gunpoint, it's still because she never died.
Well, her spirit's here. That's
her
for
spirit's
sure.
here, so she never died. So it never actually desynced from her body. That's crazy. Anyway, so sorry, Adrian. I'm forcing you at gunpoint to put demon steel into your setting. What does demon steel do?
It's a boss arena. Zach, you see all the spikes?
I do.
That already exists in my setting. It's called Abyssium.
That's not what I said demon steel.
Okay, steel forged by demons in the abyss.
That's it? It doesn't do anything special?
If you're not from the abyss and you hold it, it stinks bad and makes you feel sick.
It stinks bad?
Wow.
It stinks real nasty.
Oh shit, this is the same arena. This is the same type of arena that I fought Koga in.
Is he gonna pop out?
Oh my god, is it gonna be Koga in his? Oh no, it's just a corrupt. Whoa. Yo, look at this thing.
That construct. I made it long ago.
I'm gonna whoop this thing's ass.
It must be under the control of something monstrous.
What do you guys think about Shadow Wizard and Money Gang? We love casting spells.
We love casting spells. Seized construct. Dude, this thing is cool as fuck.
Has turned my creation into his pawn. We must defeat it. We can do this together, Link.
Why is it bigger than me? This is horse shit.
Smack him!
Let's go.
God. I have to say, like, when I was watching Spider-Verse across Spider-Verse, every single trailer that came before the movie that was for an anime movie, I was like, okay, I don't care. I was not interested in a single one of them.
Fair.
Which, by the way, is it just me or is the guy that's the lead in the Duck movie? Does that guy sound like a lot like John Mulaney, even though he's not John Mulaney?
The Duck movie?
I think, or Migration.
Oh. Does he sound like John Mulaney, but he's not?
He sounds like John Mulaney.
Sure.
But yeah, there was Migrate, the Ruby Mermaid, Gilman, whatever, which I swear to God, I haven't looked it up, but that reeks of this was a successful children's book that we're adapting into a movie, and I don't know if that's true, but I feel like...
Ooh, look at him waving it.
You like that?
Hang on, let me look up. Ruby, this has to have been a children's book. We got stuff.
Oh, second phase.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, is it getting more arms?
I cannot believe Ruby Gilman was not a children's book that got adapted. Does it not feel like one? Like, you know the one, right? The one with the Kraken and the fucking fake Ariel who's a bitch or whatever?
Oh, the animated one?
Oh, is this the Kraken thing? Yeah.
I mean, I could agree. Sure.
It has that vibe of like, this was a popular children's book and now we're adapting it.
Yeah, I could see that, sure.
Except it wasn't. It's a complete original, which is fucking baffling to me. I guess that's why I didn't see based on the popular novel anywhere on it.
Hit him again!
I lost my hardball.
No, there's more constructs like all just kind of lying around, so.
Hello. Do you have your electric hands?
No, he's got guns.
Are there any animated movies you guys are excited for besides the next Spider-Verse movie?
Any new animated movies?
I'm about to say, can you assist me here by listing out animated movies that are supposed to be coming out within the next couple of years or so? Because like fucking Elemental looks like garbage.
Yeah, Elemental, Ruby Gilman, Migrate, Rise of TMNT.
Oh, that's and that's animated in the same style as the TV show, right?
Kind of. It's a little grittier and a little like more juvenile looking. It's directed by none other than the man himself, Seth Rogen, by the way.
I don't know,
I do
would say
recall
no.
this, yes.
It's interesting to me, at least.
Which he is extremely putting the teenage in TMNT because they are
I believe
definitely
that was
less,
I believe that was in the trailer, right? Was like perpetual teenager Seth Rogen.
Yes, that was his credit. Not any of the things he actually did, but perpetual teenager. Which, when I saw that, it immediately flashed my head the sound of like,
Again!
But yeah, no, he's really putting the teenagers in. They're like 13 or 14 instead of being like 17 or 18 in that, based on the trailers. Also, they made April O'Neil black, which got a lot of people's panties in a twist.
Once again, she's not a real person, so it's fine.
Exactly, it's like, who cares? The movie looks kind of janky, which I have to say, as far as Rise of the TMNT, I have no interest in actually seeing it. My instinct is that it's going to be really pretty, and I'm not going to really care that much besides that. Like, out of the movies animated coming up besides Spider-Verse, it's probably
we were fucking right.
My guess is that TMNT is going to be the second best looking out of this current batch.
What's the first best?
Spider-Verse, obviously.
Oh, okay, yeah. Once again, have they confirmed that it's coming out next year?
They haven't confirmed it, but that's like the kind of like probably, hopefully date they've put out. It's like slated for that, but you know, delays will probably happen as well for March next year.
Oh, I heard they're making another Kung Fu Panda.
Yes, I did see that. And not a TV show.
Yeah,
the TV show did not look that good, but also
was there a
apparently the TV show
there is a Zootopia too. Yes.
The TV show apparently power scaled Poe to shit, where he's like way more strong in the TV show than he is in the movies.
Well, because the TV shows came out. The TV show started after 2, and then came back.
Was that?
Oh. She put her spirit, Saba. She put her spirit into. Remember we got the Purapad from the Zonai who like delivered it to us.
Oh yeah.
She put her spirit into that.
Wow. So she's been hanging out with us this entire time.
Now listen.
Tell us anything.
Listen.
Wow.
Listen, Mineral. All right. It's not what you think. I wasn't just fucking around. I swear this was all necessary. Wait, so what's her actual... so in this, similar to the other ones, is this just going to be a thing where, like, she can be summoned now?
I found, look, Zach, it's him, it's the coughing baby.
I am the Sage of Spirit, and one of the Zonai.
Amaterasu.
I feel her ears are a little bit more, like, bat.
Yeah, I said that when we first saw her. I like the idea of females being upright, whereas males are horizontal.
But it's like bat, and then he's goat.
Glad to meet
It's funny.
Link.
Okay, any information?
Literally, please, anything.
That we have recovered my secret stone. Originally, my intent was to awaken when you first found the Porapad. Then to guide you to my construct and assist you on your journey. I had not anticipated a battle with that same
She was just taking a long nap?
You have proven quite adept, and I am grateful for all your efforts. Link, here.
Pretty funny that she ends up on the middle finger.
In the name of Minoru, Sage of Spirit, I grant my power unto
It's
you.
interesting. We're getting this in, like, the spirit realm kind of thing.
Serve you
Yeah.
We're just gonna
So
get
are we
giant
So
construct
are
now?
we the Sage of Spirit? Is that the idea?
I was talking a little bit about this when you guys were talking before, and I was like, I don't know, because we've talked about this before with Link.
I thought Link was light.
Representing light, and I'm just like, I don't actually know.
I've literally
Because she
never
still
heard
exists,
of him.
so she's still a sage, right?
I guess so, right? Because she's not dead.
With this power I've given, a deep bond has been forged between us. And from this point forward, my spirit will reside within that construct. I will help you however
Oh,
I
look,
can.
there's the
Oh, there's
symbol
the
in
symbol
the
in
background.
the clouds. Yeah.
Okay, well.
So within the like concept of like repeating history, right? Yeah, so okay, so she is in there. So she is not that. So she is the Sage of Spirit. But I guess there is no Sage of Light because the person with the light power was just Rauru. And the sixth
I don't know. Yeah.
sage that we don't have access to is Zelda. Because she's the Sage of Time.
Yeah, time. We don't have time.
Okay.
But she technically gave us her power, right?
So are
Because
you fucking telling me that the thing that we kept belly aching about towards the end of last game, where fucking everybody but Link gets cool ass powers, has kind of happened again? Well, that's not true. You know what? I'm gonna take that back immediately. We have the Zonai arm, which gives us a bunch of crazy like ultra hand shit.
Yeah,
so
but
never
technically that wasn't intended for us. We only got it because we were gonna die otherwise.
Well, maybe that was the idea, was that it was always intended for us.
I'm so sorry, Link. You were gonna lose your arm all along. I feel bad.
Do you have any thoughts on repeating, Zach?
I'm gonna kill you.
Why? I can't be blamed.
What do you think
for things that
Mineru
I
did
do.
for? What do you think Mineru did for 10,000 years in the Purapad?
Listen, I'm not responsible.
Just
for
probably
anything I do.
unconscious.
Unless it's good, in which case it's all my fault.
Well then.
Okay, what are we gonna be talking about?
Zach is mad at me for making a top tier pun, even though
I did everything right and they indicted me.
Zelda Awakened does the Stage of Time. It's great. I like fantastic tragedies. Who doesn't love a good tragedy?
She made a momentous decision in those days gone by. Yes.
We did learn about this. Thank you.
Now, are we going to see this from her perspective?
People known as the Zonai came down from the heavens to the surface of the world. It was said they were descendants of gods.
is there a cutscene happening?
They
Yes.
bore treasures from these same gods.
That's why we both shut up.
That's what I guess.
Abilities of those who possessed them.
I was gonna try to start a conversation about a hunt.
Using the knowledge of the Zonai, my younger brother Rauru became a great leader.
And
He
fell
met
in love
one
with this
woman
sweet young
someday, and they
thing.
would wed.
Have they mentioned like actual like romantic love once, like with actual just words yet, or has it been like ooh hinting, ooh coy finger like pinky to the mouth? Ooh.
You mean between like Link and Zelda?
Between any characters besides Sidon and fiance Beard?
Came to be.
Okay.
I mean, like on screen,
these
I
guys
guess
just-
not.
Yeah.
However,
Well, we had the
tragedy suddenly
what of it?
struck.
The sons, the Sun families.
A man of great evil emerged from the desert.
Why are they explaining this now?
Hudson.
Ganondorf killed Queen Sonia. and
That's true.
stole
Hudson's
her
obsessed with
stone.
his wife. That's true. And she loves him.
Using the secret stone, Ganondorf transformed into the Demon King. He then
Is
created
it
swarms of
possible?
monsters and attacked.
I guess we hypothetically could have gotten here without doing any of the
But the evil
geoglyphs,
power driving
right?
the monsters forward was
Yeah, the
staggering.
geoglyphs I don't think are
The defenders
necessary.
were on the brink of defeat.
And is she? Holy shit!
Rauru then
Is she about to show us that that original wall that we saw has a picture of a princess turning into a dragon?
He entrusted secret
I
stones
don't
to
know.
warriors
Let's
with
see.
Because these are the engravings that we saw at the beginning of the game.
united in an effort to finally defeat the
Oh
Demon King.
yeah, look at that fish head.
Rauru and the sages
Okay.
outnumbered the
Oh,
Demon
that's
King
the
and should
geoglyph
have
we
been
saw.
able to stop
We were
him.
like, "What's this?" It's Ganon like coming down, and looking weird.
However, he won because it's horse shit.
The Demon King's power had grown far beyond anything we could have imagined.
If they made
He was unable to withstand
a
it.
Zelda movie, what are the three worst?
Oh look,
things
her
they
ma-
could do?
her she doesn't have a mask. It's a headpiece, Zach. Sorry, I had to
Right,
interrupt
it
you.
is the
Doesn't have
head.
it right now.
Good catch, Adrian. We'll get back to that in a second. I do have an answer for you,
Rauru,
but
I can
this
think
is
of one off the top of my head.
What's happening here?
I don't know. I mean, this is Rauru. This is Raru's sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Also, brush your teeth.
committed himself to one final act.
What happened?
Yo,
Come back.
TV winds all their weapons.
That pride will be your downfall, Ganondorf.
Okay.
Gonna smack him right in the chest.
I mean, he's just gonna like touch him.
It's the, what is it? The pressure points. Ooh.
Sick. Okay, it's cool that we actually get to see it this time.
Eyes open.
You know, this does bring up a good question now that I think about it. Doesn't this mean, because remember the secret stone that Zelda goes back to the past with was from this hand, wasn't it?
Hold on, the thing's still happening, so I'm paying attention to that.
I know exactly what it will cost me.
Zelda, you knew this would happen.
Thousands of years will pass in the blink of an eye. You only delay the inevitable.
Oh shit, and that's what the shrines do.
Someone will appear with the sword that seals the darkness. A swordsman with the power to defeat you.
Stop telling him this! Shut the fuck up!
His name.
Interesting. I look forward to meeting you.
Oh my god, the theme of
Yeah.
Zelda. Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
So did his
So his
body
body
just
just
rot
rotted
away?
away?
Oh my
That's
god!
gross!
I'm so sorry.
I genuinely thought it was gonna be a thing where he
Oh,
was gonna like
yikes.
fade away into like flecks of light or something. No, he literally just froze and then rotted. That's disgusting.
Oh my god! But I think because his arm was still sealing him, that's why his arm was left. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Holy crap. I was wounded in a
Body
process.
was soon to
My body
expire.
was soon to expire, but I can split my spirit because I'm OP as fuck.
I think that's a quote, right? I'm OP as fuck.
Yeah. Mineira's saying it right now on screen.
Uh-huh. That's so
You will
true.
recall how the Master Sword vanished from your hand at the Temple of Time. From there it traveled into the distant past, appearing in Zelda's hands, and now you hold it once again. Yes, I do. Wait,
Oh,
is this
part
is
of
this
the
special?
true? Is this part of it? Yes, it's part of the true because we got it. We have it now.
Yeah, we have it already. We technically didn't need it, I don't think.
Count in the same way you did?
Yes. But no-
Mineira's gonna be like, yeah,
Wait
girl,
a
turn
minute.
into a dragon.
Wait a minute. Pause.
I-
Who caused the sword to go back in time?
I think they might explain that. I'm not sure.
Even someone like him has vulnerabilities.
No, I don't.
I'm so sorry. She
Fuck
was,
off.
What exactly are you suggesting we do with the sword?
Over time, the Master Sword is able to absorb sacred power. It can heal itself, and even grow stronger.
Curious. If we were able to empower it in that way, it could be the key to defeating the Demon King. But it could take centuries for that sword to grow strong enough. The power the Demon King...
Try 10,000 years.
I think that's enough time, yeah.
It would be impossible for you to provide it with sacred power for so long.
I can think of one way.
Mineira's like, what the fuck?
Yes, I can do it. I have to.
I've told you. That act is forbidden for a very good reason. It would mean throwing yourself away.
Oh, Minoru!
She has a
reclining
fucking,
stone
she has
chair.
she has a fucking lazy boy. What the hell?
The moment I had the sword, I knew what to do. I knew this was why I came to
Zelda, fuck off. You know what still exists in this time? The fucking Great Deku Tree, dumbass!
I want to restore the Master Sword and deliver it to Link.
Does she have a lazy eye, or is that like a black eye?
I understand.
Maybe her eye's injured, I think.
You really
She just doesn't open it.
made up your mind? Very well then. As a Zonai, I bear my share of blame for these events. So I too will devote myself to this goal and to this hero of yours. For the swordsman Link, I will do everything I can. Even if my body should perish, I will still be with you in spirit.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. It's not just a saying. Okay, well, I mean, I guess
I think we got that because we have the sword, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't have shown us that.
I don't know. That's a good question to ask.
Either the groundwork for guiding you in the distant future. Before the gloom's affliction took my life, I became a spirit and entered the Purpad. Then Zelda did what she felt she must and began the forbidden process of swallowing a rock. She believed you would use the Master Sword to defeat the Demon King and restore peace to Hyrule. You already have in your hand the hope that Zelda left to you.
Wait, pause. Do you think right now she would have said something like,
You need to go
still
find
go
it.
find it. You need to go get it. Yeah.
I think that at this juncture she would probably be saying something along the lines of like she left clues to the location of the Master Sword in geoglyphs, you know, dotted around the landscape. Use them to find the Master Sword or something.
Well then.
You will surely smite the Demon King Ganondorf.
Oh
Okay?
yeah. Okay.
Use it to summon or dismiss the construct containing Mineru's spirit. Wait, what the fuck happens to the fucking non-spirit parts?
I'm confused. Yeah, what this is.
Trail of the Master Sword. Trail of the Master Sword complete! Fuck! That's God. You have to tell me that we can bring this motherfucker back from being a dragon. I am going to shit myself.
Third game, Zach. The little bell in the back of your mind is ringing. The third game.
I swear to fucking God, it can't be. Vitalis, it can't be happening.
Legend of Zelda. The Dragon of Zelda. That's
What the
next
fuck is
game.
this? Hello? I'm ready to produce. Listen, guy. I just relearned that my fucking girlfriend is a dragon.
My boyfriend is a fiance now?
I will
Crazy.
gladly exchange my special weapons and equipment with you. Yo!
Almighty stuff.
That's
Nice.
sick. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's super worth it. That's awesome. What about you? What do you got? I need more materials. Okay. Wow. Okay. Great. Thanks. I can offer you one ancient blade for every 50 pieces of Zonite. So this seems like... Sure? Is this just buying them for 50 apiece? Okay. It seems like you're just trading for 50 apiece. Got it. Holy shit. Okay. Fuck. So the ring ruins talked about the sixth sage, which took us to the Sky Temple above Farron, which then led us to the mask of the construct that Mineru left behind 10,000 years ago, which then took us back down to the surface, which then took us to the factory to make the robot, which then took us to the Spirit Temple where Mineru's spirit wasn't. I'll remind you, her spirit was in the Purapad, but we needed the secret stone, and then she just re-summarized the story of the game so far. Am I right? Is that it? You need to report to Purapad Lookout Landing. Okay.
I feel like, once again, I feel like we should be hitting close to end now.
Yes, so. I mean, that's the thing. I still haven't fully explored all of Hyrule Castle. I was just kind of...
Go do that.
I mean,
we presumably have to go there anyway, yeah.
Eventually. Well, I think fighting Ganondorf is underneath Hyrule Castle. Because remember, that's where he fell in the cutscene. Because Link like gets pulled up by the arm, Zelda gets zipped away to the past, and Ganondorf just falls. While riding the construct, you'll take no damage.
Hell yeah.
I'll just war again. All right. Now that we have a wee bit of downtime and Adrian's shit posting on air,
I was shit posting. That cutscene was lasting a while.
It was a big cutscene. It was important. What was your question about? You said something about the Zelda movie.
What's the 3 worst things they could do to ruin a Zelda movie if they made one?
Make Link extremely verbose. Even if they have him talk a little bit, I would be okay with that. But if they make him just like your generic animated movie protagonist, where he's like, "Jeez, princess, I can't believe that happened." Mainstream pop music kicks in as he's like walking along.
So you don't want him to be an MCU character?
I don't want him to be a fucking Illumination character.
Which would be worse, though?
Illumination? Because Marvel characters can be insufferable, but sometimes they're good. Okay. Increases her construct's attack power. Alright. You know what? I just realized we need to actually summon her construct for the first time, right?
Yeah, presumably that happens when you're standing outside, I guess?
Yeah. Because I didn't actually step off of the, man, this is Zelda's picture of... What is this? Oh, what the fuck? What?
It's upside down.
Why the fuck is it upside down? Why is my picture upside down? Oh, the whole room is upside down!
What? Yeah. What?
Yeah,
Oh
that's the carpet. That's the lantern. I accidentally put the whole room upside down.
Oh my god.
I gotta go.
I think that needs to be, fixed.
Goodbye, Adrian.
Oh, goodbye.
Well, that was abrupt.
That was very abrupt. But okay.
All right. I'm gonna land and hopefully it'll summon over here. If not, I'll try to manually summon her. There you go. And it's purple. Cool.
It's just a giant...
So I guess the downside of the robot is that it can't run.
Robot.
So it's just slow.
Except you could probably just run where you need to go and then get on it if you...
Right, exactly.
Run faster, yeah.
All right, well, how much time do we have? We have like a little bit under an hour, so I guess back to Lookout Landing.
You can attach a fan to the back for increased speed.
Or a rocket so it can jump.
Yeah, we already knew that at least, but yeah.
So I wonder if having a fan on its back will break after a while, because otherwise, how do you get it off? I guess you could just pull it
probably
off.
I think it just destroys itself after a while.
But fans have never done that before in this game.
Yeah, but remember, I think on the...
No, the
when
wing
rockets
destroyed
go
itself.
out, yeah. And so
The
did
wing
the
destroys
rockets.
itself. Fans do not. That's why my little motorbike thing here is a perpetual flying machine. You know, because it's just fans and a stick, things that don't break. All right, Pura. Did you find something about the 5th sage? I pull out the robot. What? What do you...
When were you planning on telling me?
This is
Let me just smack my
infuriating.
forehead. Let me
That
just...
We've known about this since
smack everything.
before the fucking fire temple, which was the second thing we did.
I'm sad.
That she gave her life to see it through for us. Go fuck yourself. I'm so bitter about this.
I mean, I feel a little bad that she's not like, you know what? We'll also see if we can look into, like, you know, if there's any way to reverse the process or anything. She's just like, okay, she died for us. It's like, okay, wow.
Well, we know that there's not, or at least we're told that there's not a way, because that's like the sacrifice of consuming the stone, right?
Well, no one said it was gonna be easy, Zach, but you know, you need to try, at least try. Or Pura needs to at least try. She literally turned herself into a kid. Okay?
Exactly. Yes.
I'm
correct.
thinking she could do
Thank you,
something.
Saba, for re-illustrating my point about this type of fucking narrative. Like, so much crazy, wild bullshit nonsense happens all the time, and the idea of a character looking at you in the eye and being like, "It's impossible. It can't be done." I'm like, literally, I don't believe you. Not because this is a video game and anything is possible, but because within the context of your own world, you have fucking time travel. By default, time travel. Like, I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. What? As usual, you're one step ahead of me.
One step ahead of me, Link. Uh-huh.
You navigated the depths, which are incredible, dangerous, home to all sorts of nasty creatures, not to mention all the gloom down there.
For us, right now, in this case, before she at least upgraded the Sheikah Slate, what has she done for us now?
So, hypothetically, Pura has not been really helping us that much. She has been coordinating the multi-kingdom efforts of, like, repairing everything after the upheaval. So, hypothetically, she's been helping the world, whereas we've just been making progress. Because, I don't know, I find this scene to be really funny, where it's like, she's like, we need to do X. And I'm like, I already did X. And she's like, oh, well, then we should do Y. And I'm like, I already did Y. Oh, okay, then that means we should do Z. And I'm like, hey, you won't believe this, but I already did
that too. Yes. Well, that's the...
This is the person who wanted to know about the depths. Now our target is the deepest reps of the depths beneath Hyrule Castle. Of course, I'll let all the sages know right away. So this is the end.
Check it. Okay.
Check it.
Destroy Ganondorf. Wait a minute. Go into your thing. Go into your Yeah, find Princess Zelda is still a.
But why? We know where she is.
Where is Princess Zelda?
That's a good question, actually.
She was trying to tell
Wait, hold up. When you touched the light in the Temple of Time, you felt her presence, however faintly, as a voice rang out in your mind, Link, you must find me. is that a reference to her being like, you have to find my dragon because that's where the Master
To get
Sword
the
is?
sword? I think that seems most reasonable, yes.
So we already got the sword prior to the 5th temple. Do you think that that would now be our next... Oh yeah, no, because Purah just mentioned it. Purah just mentioned about the Master Sword. So I think that the Master Sword is also
Mineru?
part of the main... No, Purah just... Right, Mineru told us, but Purah just said, oh, well, then we should go find the Master Sword. And then Link goes, I already have the Master Sword. And she's like, oh, wow, you're really good at this. So I think that, I don't know this, but I think that getting the Master Sword is part of the main quest. So I don't think that there's any way for us to have missed the Master Sword.
Yeah, because it seems like they ended up telling us, too, what happened to Zelda.
Well, they kind of hinted at it, but the thing is that, like, unless you... Because the memory of... Mineru telling her that consuming the stone turns you into a dragon, that was part of the Nazca line quest line. That was not one of the default ones.
Oh, so you're like she's okay. So if you
in
didn't
that
do any of that, you would just know she did something forbidden.
We would know that she'd do something forbidden and that she would lose herself. And Purah just said that she gave up her own life in order to get us the Master Sword. So if we hadn't have done the Nazca lines, we would know, oh, she sacrificed herself to get us the sword. Whereas we did it in reverse, did the Nazca lines super early, and the result was understanding that she fucking swallows the stone and fucking turns into a dragon in a really horrific scene. Okay, let's think about this for a second. Do you want to finish this tonight?
No.
Not really, right? Like, I would rather do it tomorrow. Because there's obviously gonna be a fucking badass discussion at the end.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
well, I have a couple things that I think we can do real quick. Excuse. But depending on how things go, we might just end it early.
I don't mind that, you know.
Because once again, the thing that I saw was that the only qualification for getting the true ending is getting all main quests done. All but one, which I believe the one is Find Princess Zelda. I wanted to, because if you recall, where the fuck is it? There it is. If you recall me telling you...
Oh, you should also go see real fast, the kid. Because she was like, oh, go talk to the kid.
Oh, the one that was underneath.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sure, we can do that. Okay,
oh, we never
Lady
finished
Paya.
this ring ruins.
Yes,
right?
Yes, we did. What?
Well, she's like, oh, we need to start doing
Oh,
X.
finally,
was that
Jesus.
Oh, my mind's... No,
yes.
The ring ruins were for the Temple of Light,
you're
right?
a little behind. The thing with the ring ruins was just that each of the six rings. I think there was 6. Described the sages in relation to Rauru, and the 6th one, the final one, was forbidden until we proved that the visions of Zelda that everybody has been having are just Phantom Ganon's masquerading.
Evil.
And so then we were able to go through. That's where we learned about the 6th sage, yada yada. But
okay, so it's been a while. I think I just forgot about it, maybe.
You were here for that.
Well, that's why I said I think I forgot.
So you were here for the finale of that. You were not here for the first 5 tablets, because I did those off stream, because I didn't realize I didn't know that they would be relevant to like a main story quest.
Okay. Well, good to know.
I only just came back to the village myself, despite the fact that you said you were coming back to the village so long ago.
You had of the light dragons, or rather, okay, it seems as though there must be an omen of some kind. Paya, so she's still looking. She's like, you go deal with that.
Yes, this is the calamity. What do you mean, the calamity question mark?
If you just said it, I don't know why you'd be asking yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Brought back to existence in the form of
Hatred
similar-
manifest.
You know, I know
But
better.
then what the fuck is up with that? Right? Because like that was always the part that I thought was like that's what people were theorizing about Breath of the Wild 2 was that what if Ganondorf was actually a good guy? Because you see it there, and he like you see someone who is clearly Ganondorf, like with the red hair and stuff, and he appears to be holding his sword to keep the monster at bay, but that's clearly not the case. He's clearly like an evil piece of shit, right?
This is confusing. And warrior chosen by... Okay, that's presumably us. Yeah, divine beasts that are just somehow gone now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Junior school, a lesson. Well, okay, I guess you're gonna have to go.
I already did that side quest. It was a side quest where he just answers like a couple kids' questions about like what the calamity was. Who knows? Maybe this will be a
So was that it from her?
I mean, I could talk to her again, I guess.
Yeah, just talk to her one more time, because technically if you already talked to him, I'm wondering if it'll trigger something else. You talk to him? No, she'll just say this. Yeah, she's just gonna repeat it.
What does this have? Does this have anything to do?
Oh yeah,
with...
what about the calamity? Impa, like, we know it happened.
I don't know, man.
I'm a little
So you know what I was wondering? I'm wondering if she comes back to Hateno Village after you do the 5th temple, because remember she was the one who kind of initiated our quest for the geoglyphs.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this would be the thing where like she would be up there in her room. We talk to her and she's like, "Oh, by the way, meet me here," and she marks on our map the first nearby geoglyph. Because like, what's the one that's
tied together?
Yeah,
the first one.
So the first one we did was here, which was King Rauru.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Obviously, I'm not gonna make any like crazy conjecture, but all right, let's talk to Paya. Let's see. You got anything for me? You got anything for me, babe? Listen, I got another biddy over there in Gerudo Village, you know.
Oh my god. Okay, so she's like...
Yep, okay, cool. So let's head back to Lookout Landing to talk to the person that, the one who was researching the depths. Because that was the thing. I didn't even know that the depths existed until she told me, hey, go down one of those holes. Right?
It's interesting still that she's gotten... I mean, I guess I was missing a good chunk of the quest you did for her. But I was like, is that enough to warrant her having her own profile?
Kinda. So if I recall correctly, and I don't know if anybody ever watches this at some point in the future, they can correct me if I'm wrong. But like the way that it started was she was like, go down there. And then like, she's like, oh yeah, somebody reported that they saw a line of statues. Can you follow them? And I followed them to this mine that was like way down here. Right. You remember that? Or rather it was here. It was this place, the abandoned central mine, which is below the Temple of Time. Yeah, look at that. Who would have guessed? So it went back there, and then the quest line that you didn't see was essentially just a repeating thing, where she was like, "Oh, there's a statue. There's a line of statues of fish people. There's a line of statues of warrior women. There's a line of statues of bird people. You know, and you follow them to the corresponding mines." Or as close to the corresponding mines as you can. The one that we followed initially that led to like the wall that had like caved in or whatever, those were all bird people that land to the abandoned Hebra mine, right? Which is obviously underneath Rito Village. Mm-hmm. So that one was that one. So we did all of that. By finishing all of them, she told me to go to one other location. I can't quite remember, unfortunately. And at that location... they said something about how there was like this big underground temple underneath where Hyrule Castle is. I remember them talking about that. But I don't know. Maybe I misremember that. Maybe she actually said like, "Oh, I bet you that's where Ganon is." But I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's there. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk to her. We're gonna talk to her, and then we're gonna go to the school, and then I guess we're gonna be done for the fucking day.
Hmm.
Oh!
You mean like the Demon King?
Yes.
Wow, okay. No, we know exactly where she is.
Yep. Dead. Well, kinda.
It's weird. Good for you, kid.
Thank you for telling me, swordsman. Man, I can't wait for the third game where they turn you into a 20-year-old and people make porn. That's gonna be comforting.
Well, thank you for.
I'm just saying they did
Oh,
that with
reminding
fucking.
us
They did that
all
with
of that
Pura.
fact. Yep.
She was a
thank you for
fucking
reminding-
kid
Oh,
in the
it's a
last
bird
game.
person!
Yeah,
Rico.
that happened
That's
after.
fun.
That happened after I saved Rito Village. I guess there's like one other thing I can do while I'm still in town.
So there wasn't like a full outfit for like some of the things we saw, like the climbing gear. Did we get the full climbing
Oh
gear?
no, there's
outfit?
a full climbing gear and stuff. I just never found it.
Oh, okay.
I also
There's
don't.
someone down
I also
here.
don't really care. I could. I mean, I guess I could for next stream. Now that there's not going to be a tabletop session, but so this is the well inspector.
Huh?
She gives you the overarching quest of locating every single well in the game. She says here, if only there was some sort of like hidden tool for finding wells. Turns out there is. I didn't know this. So you remember how we
There's a well mask.
Well, you remember how we located
An
things in the first
upgrade
game?
to your Sheikah slate, right?
Well, it's not a Sheikah slate. But
Well, in the old game, right?
normally you would take pictures of objects that you can pick up. The well is one of the only objects that you could take a picture of that this does not qualify for. And
Wow.
so by turning on the well finder on my thing, it'll tell me when there's a nearby well, and I can look at my map
That's
to see
funny.
if I had already seen it. So, anywho, let's go back to. Not only am I gonna go back to Heteno Village, I'm gonna go to sleep in my house and wait till midday, so that way there's people in the school. And I guess we're gonna talk to the guy, see if there's anything to do there.
If we missed anything, and if not, yeah.
If we're not,
Wait, does
I don't know.
you think all of the images of the sages like links up together?
What, like puzzle
I
pieces?
think yes. Kind of, yeah. Like the lines will continue into another image,
I think it would be super cool if they did.
and it'll create the Triforce in the negative space. I don't know. I'm just making.
I mean, I doubt that,
Yes.
but I do think that that would be really interesting.
Frogs.
Those frogs aren't bothering nobody.
Gross.
Man, could you
Wagging.
imagine living in a world where you could just look up in the sky and see that?
Yeah, it'd be kind of freaky. That's for sure. Freaky deaky.
But you know it's not dangerous, or at least not, like, aggressive.
I don't know. It's so fantasy and so outside our world of reality that I truly cannot fathom. It would just be,
Can I actually-
truth be told, if that was a normal thing, I would just be that's normal.
Can I
'Cause I'd be living in a world that
propose
could happen.
something to you? I
What?
wonder if you pulled a random citizen from like this game into the real world, they would probably look at airplanes the same way that we would look at their
Maybe,
dragons.
yeah, they would. There would be a lot of stuff because they have some like
They have some
tech-ish
technology.
things. But our tech is like different. Yeah, I mean now that we're just like AI, like ask anything you want and it'll
Shut the
give
fuck
you an
up
answer.
about
Like, they're kinda
AI.
close. Hey, you're right. It may give you incorrect information. But it's still a pretty like Siri, right? Being like, "Hey Siri," like blah blah blah. Like they'd be like, "Yo, that's me."
That's not AI.
Yeah, that's why I separated it. I said.
Oh, okay.
Or,
Sorry,
like,
I thought you were
Siri.
referring. Sorry, I apologize. I thought you were
No,
referring to
yeah.
Siri as if it was AI.
No. I said AI, and then I was like, okay, if you don't want to talk about that, then like things like Siri.
Already.
I don't know. Maybe I misworded myself as well. But yo, change your outfit.
Why?
Go in there, show and tell to the kids.
What do you want me to wear?
Oh.
Okay, I'll be a scary killer god.
Okay,
then.
go tell them, hi guys, I've ascended. This is my god form.
This is my.
Any
god
questions?
form. How's it going?
Any questions? You're all you know.
So you had asked a
Yeah.
question earlier of what actually sent the Master Sword back to the past. I don't actually know. I don't think
'Cause
it
that's
was.
the thing.
I don't think it was
I don't
Queen
think it was
Sonia.
Zelda. Yeah, I don't think it was Zelda. I don't think it was Queen Sonia. And I was like,
What was the?
This is suspicious.
let
Did
me-
we get this? Did we get her power, her like blessing or whatever,
critical decision.
like before or after we send the Master Sword?
1 second. I just want to see. I want to see if she asks for the sword here.
We managed to restrain him somehow.
Right, because this is after Raru's sacrifice. Oh, I just realized his magic is his hair. That's
I'm not
gross.
sure you'll be able to stop him.
Oh wait, that seems to be responding.
Oh yeah, because this was my other point. So that stone that she is wearing is the same stone that fell off of the dead Raru's hand in the future.
he has a separate stone. Like you see it when he's fighting, right? In the
No, it's
last
on his
battle, he's got
hand.
Yeah, but that's not what she's wearing.
Yes, it is. We're gonna go back to that. We're gonna go back to that memory.
Yeah, please. Because she was on the ground, she was wearing the yellow stone. Raru had a different stone on his hand.
Saba, I'm saying it duplicated in the time travel. Yeah, okay, so it's just there.
Yeah, okay, that's something different. Okay. It looks like, yeah, it is responding to her, though, so...
Sure, but... So I guess this is just a power that the Temple of Time
Zelda's
has.
power is really just like, you're not really gonna have control over like the heavy stuff. I'm just gonna act and do what I think
things
needs
for
to
you.
be done.
In H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, the downfall of that narrative was the fact that the time machine could only go forward in time. Zelda's problem is that she can only go back.
Well, the same thing with this. The sword could only be taken back in time. I mean, I guess she didn't really want to send it forward anyway because it still needed recovery. But I'm doubting whether or not she could do it anyway.
And recover your strength.
Okay, so she did not ask for it. It did respond, but she didn't initiate whatever the magic was. The magic was just happening. So I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna go back to like number 2, I think, the Awakening. It's going to be annoying because it's going to be really long, but I want to prove to you that...
Where's the fast forward system?
There isn't. There isn't one.
God dang it! God dang it! They couldn't.
I am 90%. I am 90% sure that stone that is currently sitting on Raru's disembodied hand is the one that falls off. Zelda picks it up and it turns into the time stone. When she goes back in time, Raru is still wearing it.
Of it. Yeah, it's just a duplicate of the. It's just a future version of the. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So
at
my
first
thing
I was just like,
is that there's
like
actually only 6 stones, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because he has one. Because at first I was like, Zach was like, well, no, he didn't. I thought you were saying, oh, Raru didn't have a stone back in the time because like Zelda has the stone.
He definitely had one,
has it.
but it's the same stone twice, except hers is now like in tune with time, and his is in tune with light. But it's the same fucking stone, which now implies that you can make an infinite number of stones.
Or just like transfer them, right? And then they just be reused over and over and over again.
We already knew that, Saba. We already know that they can be transferred.
What do you mean make infinite?
Wait, what the fuck do you talk? Sama, what the fuck are you talking about? You can make this stone that Zelda has in her hand right now is a brand new stone that only exists because of time shenanigans. The stone that she is holding in her hand right now.
I see. You're saying like if you were to just go back,
of Rauru
you could keep
from
on
the
making
future.
Stuff. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Rauru,
okay.
as you'll see in a second, has the stone on his wrist.
I'm sorry. It's okay.
Yeah, that's if you. I guess if you chuck a lot of people with all of them back into time, I guess all of those can exist.
As far as I know right now, see, look, he's wearing it. So as far as I know right now, you can make 6 more, then 12 more, then 24 more. You can just keep making stones, I guess. I don't know. You just have to tune them into the person who has the power of time.
Founded Hyrule?
You know what I mean? Now, obviously, this
So where
doesn't
is
really
in the
matter, but it's just
future-
weird.
Oh no, I'm stupid.
Sorry, what were you asking?
That one. Okay, no. I just realized I answered to my question. So
Okay.
Well, alrighty, get your god butt in there.
My god
Scare
butt.
the kids a little. Surprise test. Ah. He's standing right here. I'm right here, I swear. Okay.
I mean, I'm literally have it equipped right now.
People of that time come to know that the imprisoned calamity would return. Stables.
Yes, an oracle told them, which is also another kind of hand-wavy part of the first game. We never actually get to see this oracle or who they are. All we're assumed to know is that it's an oracle who can see the future somehow.
Wonder if it'll be like the.
I wonder if it would be Mineru.
That'd be interesting.
Not Mineru being the oracle, but like the oracle receiving a vision from the spirit of Mineru. But once again, that doesn't make any sense. Stables and newspapers are a rich source of information. Okay, next question.
What was the title given to the ones chosen to pilot the ancient?
They were piloting the Divine
Beast.
Beast. They were called the Champions. That is correct. The Divine Beasts are the machines built by the Sheikah. So that is confirmed. That in order to stop the original calamity, which we thought was 10,000 years ago, right? Because remember, the calamity that they're referring to was the event that happened 100 plus years ago, but they didn't know how to make any of their stuff. They just had them, right?
But they just appeared, yeah.
So now I'm confused, because it's like, okay, that was the original calamity, was the Sheikah built these robots to, like, defeat Calamity Ganon. When did that happen? Because in the original game, I could have fucking swore they said 10,000 years.
And I thought that if it was built by Sheikah, like I figure a lot more people would be aware of what they are versus in the last game.
The Sheikah are still around.
Yeah. So and in the last game, she's like, "Oh my god, these ancient things that we found," and it's just like.
I mean, it's
okay.
entirely, I mean, genuinely, like, Greece is still around today as a nation, but there are still many lost, like, pieces of Greek history, right? Because it's like, you know, if you've been around long enough, it's totally fair.
Build it, I guess.
Sorry?
Then the question is, at what point did the Sheikah build the Divine Beast?
Exactly. So it's like, because in the original game, I could have fucking swore it was 10,000 years ago. But in this game, 10,000 years ago was when the Zonai happened and the Demon King was first awakened. And they defeated him by Raru's sacrifice. So it's like,
But
okay.
there was a calamity here. So.
Well, exactly. There was a calamity. So it was sometime between 10,000 and 100 years ago. Presumably far enough prior to 100 years ago that people forgot about it. They forgot about these incredible god weapons that they made. Okay.
What technology was used to build the machines that could oppose the calamity? Whose?
The Gerudo. That is
You
incorrect.
just said the Sheikah.
It was the Sheikah, you
Kid.
idiot. You stupid child. Okay, I guess next one.
Oh,
Is
is
it
this
just
now? Are we just
repeating
gonna
now?
repeat this?
Okay.
Okay, now I think they're just.
Now it is just
gonna
repeating. So it's just that's just handy dandy little bit of info, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Saba, I am very upset because I think you're right. I think that Impa in the true ending of this game is going to let us know that she has a lead on how to save Princess Zelda. And the main quest of the third game is going to be, instead of find Princess Zelda, it's going to be save Princess Zelda.
Oh my God, Zach! What if?
What if?
So I was like, what else can they do with this environment? What if we go back in time, and that's why the environment's different?
Holy shit! And it's like all of the Zonai stuff is on the ground.
Yeah, maybe that, because it's like we have now covered kind of the same map, but we've added depth and like height, I guess.
Well, we've covered the same map twice.
What else are you gonna do?
We've covered the same map twice, and we did the depths, which is literally the same map again, but now inverted, where mountains are valleys and valleys are mountains.
Yeah, so it's like, well, what else can you do with this same map? And
I guess
like,
go back in time where it's new structures
mind,
and stuff.
Yeah, it's new structure, because technically the big landmarks are the same, right? You have like the desert and like the location of things are the same, but like who knows if like Rito like.
Well, we know that the Rito, we know that
else.
everybody is still around 10,000 years ago because
but maybe they lived in different areas. I mean, I don't think they.
Well, no, we know
live
that they lived in the same area
but...
because I found the ancient masks.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah,
but it must be still different, right?
The ancient Gerudo still lived in the desert. The ancient, you know what, Saba? You bring up a really fucking good point. Why is because if the ancient Rito still lived in the Hebrew region, why is their like home city still made of shitty wood? If their civilization is 10,000 years old, why is it not made of fucking like stone and shit? Like you have 10,000 years to upgrade.
Gets colder than wood. I don't know.
Why do the Gorons live in like slapdash metal plates? They had an entire fucking stone carved temple underneath the volcano, and I guess just left it for lulz. The Zora are doing it right. The Zora have an opulent ass city. They figured it out.
I just don't know, like, why. So are we going to fight Ganon, and that will also resolve the Find Zelda?
I think so. Because you're right. I'm confused about that. Because the objective is find Zelda, and the objective, because I spoiled myself slightly just to make sure that I was getting the true ending, and the only criteria for the true ending is have all but one mainline quest completed. I think that this game is straight up going to end with you cannot find Zelda because she doesn't exist. She's a dragon. You know?
Oh, didn't this fall down?
Oh, yes, I fixed it.
What'd you do? How'd you do that?
I went to the other 3 shrines. So this is okay. So remember how when Silveroon was describing like how they kind of retconned some of the lore and stuff like that? In old Zelda games, the idea was that there were 3 goddesses. It was like a triumvirate, and it was the goddess of wisdom, power, and
strength.
Wisdom, power, and courage.
Courage.
Right.
Yeah, courage. Wisdom, power, strength.
And then in Skyward Sword, they kind of retconned that to be like, oh, actually, there was the main goddess Hylia, and she was the like goddess that like people interacted with, and the other three were like eldritch, like other gods that existed. This game kind of recombines everything, where the idea is that Hylia is the mother goddess, and the three other goddesses of, you know, power, wisdom, and courage are her daughters. They're the daughter goddesses. Is the idea.
I mean, it could make a little bit of sense that even though, like, you know, traditions and stories can be kind of like mixed up a little bit. So who knows? Maybe in Skyward Sword, that reincarnation section thought that that's what the.
I mean, if anything, assuming that the gods are real, which the game gives us every reason to believe that they are, Skyward Sword would technically be more accurate by common logic, because Skyward Sword is literally number 1 on the timeline. It is the earliest thing to have happened in the Zelda timeline. You know?
Because it's closest to,
So it's closest to when these events would have actually occurred. Whereas Tears of the Kingdom is chronologically last on the timeline. So, but anywho. So yeah, I went to the 3 different well springs. Each of them was like, hey, the Mother Goddess statue fell over. Please bring me a scale. Was it a scale? I think it was either a scale or a horn of their corresponding dragon. And then I had to like sacrifice it to the pool of water. And after doing all 3, the goddess statue stood up and gave me something. I don't quite remember what it was, but it gave me like a piece of armor or something.
Well, look, now there's... look at that.
Yeah. The fact that the Sundelion is here, and then it looks so similar to a Silent Princess is also very sad. That's like a Silent Princess, and then the Sundelion is this one. It's like you look at the 2 of them, and they're
like...
They're obviously different flowers, but they have similar things where it's like 5 petals, a prominent middle stamen, you know.
Could be like the Silent Princess is like the descendant of the Sundelion or something, right? Genealogy plants.
It would be hilarious if they actually
family.
mentioned that at some point, but I don't think they do. But that would be very interesting. I agree.
A tear with a.
So this is the part I don't understand. So it's a
tear.
I think it's a
tear with a tear
with the tear, or a tear with a tear. I think they're doing an English pun here.
Oh, which one is it?
Because I don't even understand what this
know.
means. Like, a tear makes sense in terms of, like, she was torn out of her own time, and tear makes sense because the dragon was literally crying. But it's a tear with a tear, or a tear with a tear?
Or a tear with a tear, or a tear with a tear?
Well, I'm assuming that they're different, because otherwise you're just repeating the same word twice. And what does that mean? I guess
it's a tear within a tear. It's I don't know. It's annoying.
Well, that was the other thing, was that people were vocal a little while back, wondering, is there a third like vocal entendre to Tears of the Kingdom? Because this game literally has 3 tiers to it. Sky, surface, depths.
Oh.
So Tears of the Kingdom having like a double meaning there. Now
triple meaning.
We have 8 minutes here. I don't know, man. I feel weird because like okay. Do you recall how I told you how when I did my original playthrough of Persona 5, I didn't finish it because I love Persona 5 so much I didn't want it to end, right? It turns out that was like arguably the correct thing to do, because the end of that game is really arduous, just like every Persona game. I almost don't want this game to end because I'm worried that it's gonna have an unsatisfying ending. And I know that like snobby people on the internet will tell you like an unsatisfying ending doesn't mean that it's bad. I'm gonna be like, yeah, but it's unsatisfying. I want something that's satisfying.
Which inherently for me is bad. Thank you. Yes.
Because there's a certain aspect where it's like, okay, I can understand unsatisfying endings, like, because I've experienced them before and been fine because it, like, you know, I feel comfortable within the narrative. But in this one, it's like, I desperately fucking want this to have some sort of a happy ending, you know? And I don't think we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
I think I genuinely am worried that, like, the true ending of this game is gonna be what I described before, where, like, Impa's like, I think I know how to save Zelda, and then, like, you know.
Yeah, I feel bad because the Breath of the Wild had like a nice ending, even if we segued into this, right?
Once again, so I was trying to describe this to Grant, but once again, I couldn't go into fucking detail because he didn't fucking finish the geoglyph quest. Like, if I could punch him, I would. Because it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Straight up, he tells me the other day, oh yeah, sorry, I kind of dropped off of Tears of the Kingdom. I've been playing Street Fighter 6 instead. And I'm like, that's fair. Street Fighter 6 is really good, and obviously Grant's been really busy, but I'm going to fucking kill you if the next time we talk, you haven't done the geoglyph quest. I don't give a shit about finishing the game. Just talk to me about the geoglyph quest, you know? And the thing is that, like, the geoglyphs in this, how do I phrase this? The Zelda's memories in the previous game recontextualized and gave further definition to the events that led to the calamity, or led up to the calamity, right? In this game, like, it's technically the same, right? Technically, it's the same thing, because these are all events that happened way in the past. But it feels much more, like, active for whatever reason.
Because Zelda, us viewing, like, it was Zelda's present, right? Even though she was, like, you know, slingshotted back. So we were kind of following along with what Zelda's path of what she was doing in the past as what we were doing right now.
Like, imagine if Zelda's memories in the first, and we know that this isn't what happened, but just, like, imagine if Zelda's memories in the first game showed her, because that's the thing, she didn't even, like, save the day necessarily in this game. She just sacrificed herself to turn the Master Sword into a sick-ass weapon, which is appreciated by an enormous degree, but it just feels weird because it genuinely does not feel like, okay, in the first game, sorry, I keep fucking short-stopping my own conversation. In the first game, she's going around helping and interacting with the champions, teaching them how to, like, helping them learn how to do their divine beasts and how to, like, work with the guardians and stuff, right? Because she understands from, like, her character's perspective that she is having fucking no dice with her god powers, and that's really upsetting. So she's looking for alternatives, which is part of the problem. It leads to this really intricate and well-structured tragedy where it's like, yeah, actually, if she gave up on the guardians and had to resort to her god powers, she would have done it and could have averted the calamity, and that's a tragedy even of itself. Whereas in this game, instead of showing her doing the process of, like, trying to figure out how to get back to the future, we see her time and time again going.
Like, she does it a little. Like, she tries. It's like she's trying to learn to control the power, but, like, I feel like you clearly
we don't see that in the visual memories, though. I think I believe I told you about the monoliths. And, like, there was this helper. I can't remember what there was this helper person who was helping Mineru and Zelda, and they wrote down on these floating lotus pillars, like, diary entries, essentially. Like, I believe I told you this, but in those, like, diary entries, essentially, it describes, like, a bunch of stuff that Zelda and Mineru tried, but never goes into detail about any of it. So it's very non-specific.
I was about to say, I feel like we see, like, we hear that she tried, but it feels like No, well, in the memory, though, it definitely feels like it was a thing where it's like, this doesn't seem like she can do it. We've already moved past it. She's trying to do other stuff now.
Well, because I'm thinking about it in the context of, like, in the first game, the memories that we saw were them in the past working with the champions to be like, okay, we're getting ready for the calamity, and it wasn't enough, right? In this one, it's kind of the same, but it's after they have already lost, I guess, right? Where she goes to the fucking she goes to the ancient champions and she's like, hey, in the future this soldier named Link is going to show up. I need you to be there to help him to defeat Ganon. And they're like, sick, will do, right? But I guess all of that stuff happens after they lose, right? Because when is if we look at this, because this is chronological. Mineru's Council, Gerudo Assault, Show of Fealty, Demon King's Army, Sage's Vow, King's Duty, Prisoning War, Master Sword of Time, Critical Decisions, Zelda's Wish. Wait, where are the... Do we not get memories of Zelda approaching the sages?
Appears not. It appears that that was just specifically... Because that's Zelda... Wait, no. We would have memories of her.
I must say, we have memories
them,
of the Sword
guess,
of Power and stuff, so...
I don't know, I guess those were just specifically...
because, like, this is
Sage's
Zelda's
memories.
memory, Zelda's memory, Zelda's memory, Zelda's, Zelda. This was... That wasn't Zelda, right?
Yeah,
that was
weird.
This was... That was not. This
Zelda
is
was here.
Mineru's.
But
So
Zelda was here, I guess. So.
No. But that's but my point is that this list is not like there's not
like you got this memory from.
This memory exists here because Mineru told us, I guess. So it's this weird thing where it's just like, okay, Ganon awakens through no fault of Zelda, which is hilarious. Like, Zelda doesn't do anything to lead to Ganon's rise. He just kind of does it on his own, I guess. Sure, he uses the guise of Zelda for, like, a split second, but that doesn't actually do anything. He ends up just punching Queen Sonia anyway. And it's just like, we see them after they have already lost, getting ready to essentially just go to sleep for 10,000 years. And it doesn't really feel like they fucking tried anything. And so it ends up feeling like this thing where Zelda's like, okay, if I shoot myself with this magic bullet, it'll help Link. And I'm like, I guess so.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know. But you know something that I think would be really interesting? I don't know. Maybe they would allow us to do it. I don't think I'm going to get the chance. But wouldn't it be really... Because remember in the first game, you could just immediately go to Ganon and fight him? At any point.
If you could do the same for this.
But in this game, imagine if you went there and he is just fucking chewing through, like as if it was like a burn status, just chewing through your weapon's durability at like lightning speed. You know? And it was like that sort of thing where it's like, oh, guess what? The only thing that can survive that is the Master Sword.
But didn't you say people have beaten this game without it?
Yes.
Yeah, so
but I haven't watched those speed runs because I don't want to get spoiled. So now I'm like, how the fuck are you doing that? Are you just fucking bum rushing all of the things to get the Master Sword? Because the Master Sword is the only thing that actually matters?
Oh yeah, maybe. Who knows? I guess we'll end up seeing.
Right? Because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, okay, technically, I guess you didn't need any of the sages. The game tells you to do that, and when you logically follow, so it's like there were the 4 sages, which then led us to the 5th sage, who then tells us to go get the Master Sword, and now we're ready to go fight the Demon King. But hypothetically, if we just got all 12 tears, ripped the Master Sword out of her head, and then just went to Ganon, would we just win? I don't know, maybe.
But it'll be interesting is how much it'll hurt him, I'd say.
We'll see. All right, well, we'll be back tomorrow to finish the game, I guess. And we'll
Presumably,
see.
yeah. We shall see.
I am worried, but also excited, and I guess that's good enough. All right. Good night, Saba. See you
It is
tomorrow.
what it is. Bye bye.